Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I will now call the regular school board meeting to order at 5 p.m. Mrs. Sinclair, please call the roll.
District 1, Matthew Lane.
Here.
District 2, Virginia Savietto.
Here.
District 3, Karen Brill.
Here.
District 4, Erica Whitfield.
Here.
District 5, Gloria Branch.
Here.
District 6, Marsha Andrews.
Here.
And District 7, Edwin Ferguson.
Here.
Also joining us is Superintendent Michael Burke, General Counsel Sean Bernard, Inspector General Teresa Michael, Student Representative Ellery Weiss, and Board Clerk Tony Sinclair. Senior staff members will join us periodically as directed by the Superintendent. Tonight, the national anthem will be performed by the Santa Lucis Community High School Singing Chiefs. Would everyone please stand, if you're able to, for the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Andrews.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board members, we have one set of minutes to approve tonight. I'll take a motion. Motion by Ms. Branch, second by Ms. Whitfield. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, all opposed, motion carries unanimously. I have one item to add for good cause. Good cause exists for it's P2 personnel addendum. Good cause exists for adding this item so that employees can begin in their new positions as soon as possible. Mr. Superintendent, do you have any items to withdraw?
Yes, I'm withdrawing CAO 3.
Okay, thank you. Board members, we have several items pulled. FC5, PMP A4, PMP, looks like 14.
That's a mistake.
That's a typo? Is there a?
It's just FMPA 4.
Okay, so let's start this over. Right now, the items that are pulled are SC5, PMPA4, POL, IG1, and REGN1. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to pull? Okay, seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Ms. Branch, second by Ms. Savietto. Any discussion? All in favor, all opposed, motion carries unanimously. Do we have any disclosures or abstentions? Seeing none, that's going to bring us to Superintendent and board member comments. Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. First, I'd just like to congratulate our St. Lucia's High School choral group. They are part of the A-rated St. Lucia's High School, which they earned last school year, so it was a big deal, and I just want to thank Principal Tamika Robinson for bringing them here this evening. Also want to recognize that we celebrated Holocaust Education Week on November 3rd through November 7th, and our district remains a leader in Holocaust education, providing students with a comprehensive understanding of this moment in history through powerful learning experiences. I had the opportunity to attend the Holocaust Studies Student Awareness Day at the end of Holocaust Education Week. I'm very proud of the work we do to teach our students about the horrors of the Holocaust. Holocaust survivors share unforgettable firsthand testimonials with our students, and we're really fortunate in Palm Beach County to have many of the survivors. And through Insight Through Education, we're able to have those survivors speak to our students firsthand and share that history. So that's been very powerful, and I'm proud of the work we're doing. We are one of the few districts, and thanks to a grant, we have two dedicated staff members to Holocaust education, and serves us well. We also had our showcase of schools, and I was just really, again, proud of our schools that all were at the fairgrounds exhibiting the programs they offer. And it's a comprehensive array of programs, 330 choice programs. And we fill up the whole expo center, and as you just walk from table to table, from elementary to middle to high school, it's very impressive. And I know that takes a lot of work on behalf of our school principals, our teachers, the whole team, the choice coordinators, to pull that off along with our department folks in the choice department. So thank you for that. And we've got a little video to share on the choice showcase of school. So video's worth 1,000 words. This is our 29th annual Showcase of Schools. This is our big marquee event to really welcome in the public to learn more about our schools. And with 330 choice programs, there's a lot of information to share.
I love the engineering qualities, you know. You learn new stuff every day that you learn outside of aerospace. So come here. It's amazing feeling.
I wanted to show my kids that there's multiple options in different schools. Whatever they want, I want to show them that I will support them in whatever decision they choose.
The Showcase of Schools is such an important event for the community. It gives us a chance to truly showcase the great opportunities that our schools offer, and it really is a night to celebrate why we are your best choice in public education.
Very helpful. Everything's right there. Well, you don't have to go far. You don't have to go searching. Everything's right there.
Palm Beach County is a leader in the choice space. We have been for many years, but we don't rest on our laurels. This year we've been trying to work hard to add new programs, make sure we're staying current with the demands in our local market here for high-paying jobs. So you're going to see new programs like biomedical engineering, quantum computing, AI, more construction, welding. You know, we really want to make sure we're offering something for everyone, whether it's a pathway to college and career or a pathway straight to career.
The school district of Palm Beach County is my best choice.
Well said, young man. All right. The last Tuesday on November 11th, we celebrated Veterans Day, and we honored our veterans, you know, here in this building. We had a beautiful ceremony, but I know there was several Veterans Day memorial or services and throughout our district, throughout our schools, and I know the board members are out and about attending as many as possible. I want to just acknowledge the student groups that came in and helped us on their day off to make our ceremony special, and that included the Palm Beach Lakes High School Vocal Ensemble, our Palm Beach Central School Brass Octet, and the Forest Hill Community High School Falcons Battalion Junior ROTC Color Guard. And again, I just want to extend our gratitude to all of our district and school-based employees who have served in the armed forces. They continue to service the community as administrators, educators, and support staff. So we're honored to have them as members of Team Palm Beach. And now it's my pleasure, you know, we started this, the board had the wisdom to create a policy early on as I became superintendent to create the first Superintendent Student Advisory Committee. And it's been an excellent experience. Our students bring a strong, articulate, eloquent voice, and they are serious about their future, and we've had some very robust discussions, and they've really provided some great guidance over the years as we make different decisions. So it's my honor to recognize our current chair of the Student Advisory Committee, and that's Mr. Francisco Sandoval. He is a senior at Dr. Joaquin Garcia High School. So, Mr. Sandoval, we're ready for your report. Welcome.
My name is Francisco Sandoval Roblero, and I am the chairperson of the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee. Today, I will be giving a board report of our last meeting. The Superintendent Student Advisory Committee met on October 13, 2026 from 4 to 5:30 p.m. at the Fulton Holland Educational Services Center. Students, district leaders, and presenters gathered to elevate student perspectives in district decision-making. After introductions, the committee held its officer election, selecting Francisco Sandoval Roblero as chairperson, Thomas Kilkenny as vice chair, and Riley Cohen as secretary. Superintendent Mike Burke highlighted his ongoing commitment to student voice, acknowledging the district-wide momentum around elevating student-led problem solving and emphasizing the district expansion of student voice structure across all schools. Superintendent Burke highlighted examples of how the SSAC input has previously shaped district initiatives, reinforcing the district's dedication to engaging students as authentic partners in shaping their educational experiences. The agenda then transitioned to 2 district-level presentations, selecting to inform and gather feedback from student representatives. Dr. Geraldine Johnson delivered an overview of the choice program options aligned with strategic plan initiatives, A1B, inviting students to review current offerings, compare models from other districts, and share feedback on potential program expansions. The committee engaged in a feedback session that revealed several high-interest ideas, ways to improve communication, access, and awareness of choice programs to ensure students from all communities have opportunities to apply and participate. Jennifer Sitting then presented the district's Catch the Wave customer service initiative, introducing the WAVE service principles and emphasizing the importance of respectful, responsive communication. Students offered ideas to strengthen customer service practices and help shape a student-friendly district motto. Overall, the October 13, 2026 SSAC meeting reflected strong student engagement, valuable feedback, and district initiatives, and continued progress toward building a district-wide culture where student voice is centered in continuous improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. It's now my honor to recognize our Deputy Superintendent Chief of Schools, Ms. Jamie Wyatt. Ms. Wyatt is going to help introduce our newest school leader, the principal of Limestone Creek Elementary School. So, Ms. Wyatt.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Burke. Limestone Creek Elementary School is seeking an innovative and student-centered principal to lead its tradition of excellence, finding an inspirational leader who fosters high expectations for students and staff, promotes a positive school climate, and builds strong partnerships with family and community stakeholders was a priority for the school. And we believe that Ms. Melissa DePasquale is the perfect candidate.
Just kidding. Let's try that again. Good afternoon, Chairwoman Brill, Vice Chair Mr. Lane, Superintendent Burke, Deputy Superintendent Wyatt, and board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and thank you for the trust that you've placed in me. I'm truly honored to be recommended as the next principal of Limestone Creek Elementary. I want to express my gratitude for your leadership and your commitment to strengthening our schools. Superintendent Burke and Deputy Superintendent Wyatt, thank you for creating pathways for leaders to grow and for always keeping students at the center of every decision. I also want to acknowledge the people who have shaped my journey. First and foremost, my family for always pushing me and believing in my passion for serving others and for building a brighter future. I'm leading the way for my little girl to see what it means to reach your dreams. I'd also like to thank the people who encouraged me to step into leadership in the first place. My very first administrators in Palm Beach County, Suzanne Machuela and Pamela Buckman. Their belief in me came at exactly the right moment, and I wouldn't be standing here without them. I've been fortunate to serve under so many other exceptional principals, including Ed Capitano, Lisa Brumfield, Danielle Garcia, Shonda Garvinshaw, Gloria Salazar, and Debbie McNichols. Their guidance, trust, and high expectations have made me a stronger leader, and I'm deeply grateful for the example each of them has set. I'm also grateful to the area leadership who have supported me through my journey, Ms. Jamie Wyatt, Ms. Maria Bishop, Dr. Anna Arce, and Dr. Camille Long. Their mentorship, encouragement, and steady guidance have played an important role as my growth as a leader. I've been blessed to work with some of the most dedicated and talented teachers in Palm Beach County. They've taught me as much as I have ever taught them. I'm grateful for all of those partnerships and every moment centered around doing what was best for students. I look forward to continuing that work at Limestone Creek. This opportunity is especially important to me because Limestone Creek is part of my community, the community that I call home. To lead a school in a place where I live, where my family is rooted, is an incredible privilege. I understand the families, their values, and I understand the hopes that the community holds for their children. To the students, families, and staff at Limestone Creek, I'm excited to join you. I'm committed to listening, building strong relationships, and leading with collaboration, transparency, and a relentless focus on student success. Thank you again to the board, to Superintendent Burke, and to Deputy Superintendent Wyatt for this incredible opportunity. I'm honored to serve, and I'm ready to get to work.
Thank you, Ms. DePasquale. We know you're going to do a great job there, and your leadership is going to extend beyond the campus onto Publix and other parts of your community. When you live close to school, you're going to be 24/7, 365. So we're happy to have you. Thank you. I know we're all excited as we approach the Thanksgiving break. It's one of the nice things about working here at the school district, and I think our students are equally excited that we'll be off next week. But I just wanted to take a minute to share my gratitude first to our families for entrusting us with serving your children. We do not take that for granted. I want to thank my colleagues on Team Palm Beach. I appreciate your commitment to educating, affirming, and inspiring all of our students. I want to thank the community at large for supporting our school district, whether that's at the voting booth or volunteering or through our business partnerships. We're really fortunate in Palm Beach County to have great support. And I'm really thankful to continue to serve as superintendent. And I just don't take that for granted either. So thank you to everyone, and I hope you all get to spend some nice time with your family and friends and get to relax a little bit and enjoy the holiday. And Madam Chair, that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. So viewers and listeners who are not present in the boardroom can access the meeting today by either watching on Comcast channels 234 and 235, UVerse channel 99, or by using the YouTube link on our webpage at palmbeachschools.org. In the event that the link is interrupted for technical reasons, please switch over to the TV channels. All board meetings are recorded in their entirety and posted on the district website within 24 hours. So that will bring us to board member comments. We're going to start at this end, and I'm actually going to start with my comments because I want to take the opportunity to thank my colleagues on the board for the privilege and honor to serve once again as your board chair. I have to tell you, though, I don't do this alone. For the people who are out in the audience and watching our meeting, this is not your typical school board. We are up here, we work as a team. It is Team Palm Beach, and there are times when we don't agree with each other, and we can sit here and argue on behalf of our students and employees, but when we leave, we still greatly respect each other, and it is such a privilege to be able to serve with such consummate professionals. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you. You make this job so much easier by being you. Park Vista took third place in the Florida Marching Band Championship, and the young ladies at West Boynton Middle School won the championship at the 2025 So-Flo Showdown for middle school tumbling. So I want to congratulate these talented students. Also, I just wanted to talk about something on our consent agenda. On our consent agenda tonight is an amendment to our agreement with the Best Foot Forward Foundation. For anyone who may not be familiar with them, Best Foot Forward is an incredible organization that supports youth in foster care and helps them stay on track academically. They match students from kindergarten all the way through college with an academic or graduation coach who works with them one-on-one. These coaches help with everything from planning and monitoring schoolwork to making sure students have what they need to graduate high school and move confidently into their next steps. Best Foot Forward has 3 different programs designed for students at various grade levels, and their college program goes even further by assisting with scholarships, financial aid, registration, course selection, and needed accommodations. It truly takes all of us to help our students be successful, and Best Foot Forward is one of the partners that makes success possible. And with that, I too want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. We all have so much to be grateful for. Vice Chair Lane.
Thank you. I had the occasion to attend 5 Veterans Day ceremonies at our school district this year, and the message that resonated with me after hearing the stories from our veterans was that freedom is not free. In the MGM adaptation of Frank Baum's book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, the movie ends with the line, "There's no place like home." And that is certainly true of the United States. There is no country like ours, and we're able to enjoy the freedom and prosperity that our country offers because of the dedication of our veterans and active service members. So thank you for your service. We all owe you a huge debt of thanks and gratitude. I also attended the 2025 Go Teach Classroom Grant Awards Night, where the Education Foundation awarded a record-breaking $200,000 in classroom grants to 143 teachers from 54 schools in the A-rated school district of Palm Beach County. These grants focus on developing educational programs in literacy, career and technical education, college readiness, financial literacy, and STEM learning. Now, Ms. Wyatt, Ms. Bishop, and I also attended the opening of the Ed Foundation's 100th Red Apple Supplies store. The foundation has distributed more than $1 million in free school supplies to needy children in Palm Beach County during the years 2024 and 2025. I also attended the Family's First Luncheon with former school board Vice Chair Barbara McQuinn, Mr. Burke, and school board member Virginia Savalleto. Families First is a nationally accredited program that helps families so they can find their way back to self-sufficiency and provide safe, loving homes to children. Finally, last Monday, or actually this Monday, we attended FPL's STEM Classroom Makeover Grant Reveal at Inland Grove High School. For those of you who don't know, in 2024-2025, FPL provided 20 $50,000 grants to schools throughout Florida. These grants are intended to forward STEM learning in our schools through the purchase of software, equipment, books, training for teachers, robots, drones, 3D printers, and much, much more, all of which advance STEM education throughout the state of Florida. A special thanks goes out to the people who made this event happen, including Jennifer Etheridge, James Gavrilos from the Ed Foundation, and my friends at FP&L, Don Kieslewski, Amy Kemp, and former Vice Mayor Ilan Koffer. I want to end by wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I can tell you that this has been, for me, the best year of my life. It's been such a privilege to work with all of you, with the administration, with our teachers and principals. It's been an honor, and I look forward to serving next year as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you, Chair. While jogging through downtown West Palm Beach on November 8th, I came across the Heart Walk 2025 event. Heart Walk is an annual event hosted by the American Heart Association. Approximately 800 participants attended this year's event, and over $1.2 million in donations were raised. Thanks to all who participated in the Heart Walks initiative. Later that day, I attended the Urban League Young Professionals Policy and Pancakes discussion to serve as a panelist. I and the other panelists addressed a wide range of topics such as local governance, home ownership, public education, health, voting, and the need for ethical leadership by elected officials. Roughly 45 persons attended the event, and I look forward to supporting the next Urban League Young Professional event. On November 10th, I attended the groundbreaking ceremonies for Villas of Solana. Villas of Solana will be comprised of 28 single-family homes earmarked for first-time home buyers, less than a stone's throw away from the site where our next high school in Palm Beach County will be built. Many dignitaries from across the county attended the event, and I was even allowed to grab a shovel and pitch a little bit of the ceremonial dirt. The ceremony was especially meaningful to me as I played a hand, albeit very small, in bringing this amazing project to fruition. Special thanks goes out to the Riviera Beach CDC, CRA, and City Council for all their hard work. On November 11th, I stopped by Atlantic High School to sit in on the OPEX conference, an annual summit at which district vendors discuss best practices in an effort to enhance proficiencies for the betterment of learning centers of students. Additionally, 6 students from Atlantic High School, Forest Hill, and Seminole Ridge sat on the panel and shared their experience in either our engineering or construction programs, as well as their future goals upon completing those respective programs. On November 13th, I had the distinct pleasure of joining County Commissioner Bobby Powell and Dr. Van Williamson of Palm Beach State College on a panel at Kaiser University to discuss leadership and ethics with roughly 60 to 70 10th graders. Thanks go to Mr. Johnny Hubbard and Peter Cruz, who moderated the panel's discussion. On last Saturday, the Kappa Upsilon chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity in the city of West Palm Beach held our monthly community service Project Uplift Community Service Project. While the numbers of participants were smaller than usual, although normally in November we have a smaller attendance rate, I was floored by the fact that with only 17 participants, we were able to remove approximately 1,200 pounds of trash. To date, we have now removed approximately 3,300 pounds of trash this year, and students have earned over 650 hours of community service. This is simply amazing, and I'm so proud to be part of this initiative. On November 16th, I attended church services with members of Kappa Upsilon Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, and I received the Superior Service Award. I'm humbled and appreciative of my brother's recognition of my small contribution to the overall efforts of the well-being of my neighbors in this county, state, and country. Yesterday, I stopped by Roosevelt Middle School to lend a hand at the school's pre-Thanksgiving food distribution event. Kudos to Team Roosevelt for yesterday's event and helping to ensure that all families of the school have food for Thanksgiving. Anyone interested in enrolling in the amazing Black History program should contact either Debbie Range or Charlene Farrington at the email addresses shown on the flyer on the screen. The program runs through March 15th of 2026. Also, Riviera Beach is sponsoring an ACT-SAT boot camp that runs through December 6th, and if you're interested in reserving a seat, there's an email address on the flyer for that as well. On November 9th, I'll be hosting a town hall with Riviera Beach Mayor Doug Lawson at the Riviera Beach Event Center to get input from Riviera Beach citizens regarding programming they like to see at the future Riviera Beach High School. Dr. Geraldine Johnson and Fred Barch will attend as well to dialogue with the attendees. And last but not least, I'd like to say better luck next year to Dr. Keith Oswald and all the peacocking Buffalo Bills fans who went to Hard Rock Stadium 2 Sundays ago and left with a well-deserved butt kicking by the Miami Dolphins. I hope you enjoy the extra serving of crow that I plan to send to each of you on Thanksgiving Day. Be well, everyone. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Andrews?
Wow, that was funny. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. This is the best time of the year, and it's always great to see our children. When I saw Santa Lucia's choir in here singing, this is what we're all about, getting our students ready for success, and certainly they looked great, and they performed well this afternoon. So I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the things I've been doing with District 6. Glade Central High School AVID Showcase. AVID means Advancement via Individual Determination, getting our students ready for colleges and careers. It was held at Glade Central High School, and we had administrators, teachers, and others travel to the Glades to look at the model at Glade Central High School on what they're doing for AVID. And then you got a chance to see some of the AVID ambassadors. Those are the students. Students were in charge of making sure everyone was fed. This was from like 9 to 12, and just learning from each other, because it's all about making sure our children are successful. Then we traveled over to Dr. Joaquin Garcia High School with the Hispanic Education Coalition, and you can see Dr. Diaz with that bulldog right there from Dr. Joaquin Garcia High School. Hispanic Education Coalition is always working together for all of our children, especially our Hispanic children, supporting the educational advancement of all students in our community. And this was an in-face meeting where we came together to kind of work together to talk about our initiatives for the remainder of the year. And as usual, we have educational advisory committees in all of our cities. So we were in Royal Palm Beach just recently with the Royal Palm Beach Elementary School. And this meeting was very productive, with students actually running the meeting and talking about what it means to be leaders within the school. And Mayor Humera, as well as the principals, I get a chance to speak, Valerie Haynes, all of us, but mainly the students talked about what the school was doing for them to help them get the best education possible. And yes, Mr. Burke, I was here with the Veterans Day ceremony. I want to thank our veterans. We wouldn't be free, we wouldn't be the country that we are today without the service of our veterans. So we thank you. It was so lovely to see Palm Beach Lakes Chorus, Palm Beach Central High School Band, the Junior ROTC Squadron, everybody. We just love our vets because you make this country great, and the work that you've done over the years with your family has been tremendous. I also want to say that I was with the Agriculture in the Classroom farm tour just recently in the Everglades on our teacher planning day, and we got a chance to go all over the Glades region. There I was at Everglades Tractor Equipment, sitting in that big wheel, but those teachers learned so much about the agricultural area of the Glades region, the farms, the farm equipment, and it was a beautiful day. It was a little chilly that day, but we all learned a lot. We had a wonderful time with our Thank a Teacher, Chief,
Sandoval from Palm Beach Central High School, making a difference with getting our junior ROTC students Navy ready for employment in the military to make a difference. HCA, $500 from Palms West Hospital, the Education Foundation, all of us, the mayor, Royal Palm Beach, ready to work with the students. And the actual Thanksgiving holiday meal, Mr. Burke, you get it done each and every year. It makes us all feel wonderful. We ate some turkey that day. It was great. And also, Junior Achievement at Gladeview, you did it again, making things happen. See the doctor and the nurse right there? And at Pahokee, we had the Thanksgiving meal. Mr. Burke, you were over there with Burke at Work. And lastly, on the agenda today, I want to thank the Ed Foundation, FP&L, Florida Crystals, the City of Riviera Beach, giving money to our children every single day through grants for STEM, for Pahokee, for Glade Central, and for all of our schools to make a difference, as well as for reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Branch.
Thank you. At our last board meeting, I gave a big congratulations to the Spanish River High varsity football team winning districts. And now I have to give another huge congratulations to them winning the first round of the 7A regional playoffs, beating Western High School out in Davie in Broward County. And the Sharks won on their home turf on Friday night, November 14th, which was my dad's birthday. That was your present, Dad. This game literally came down to the second. Like the last second, the kicker kicked it from the left hash mark and got the 3 points, and they won on the last second of the game. It was definitely one for the books, not only for winning the game, but also for making history for the Sharks winning their first round of the regional playoffs ever in school history. The team played so hard and never gave up. Congratulations again to the team, head coach Nick LaSala, all the coaches, the staff, and everyone who helps the team. Another District 5 playoff win was West Boca High. They beat Largo last week, and they advanced to the 6A finals, and they play East Lake this Friday night. In other districts, I believe Atlantic, Glade Central, and Pahokee are also in the playoffs, so good luck to all those teams. And I do know that we have a lot of teams that are not just football that are in the playoffs, and I want to advancing to the regionals and playoffs, et cetera. So I want to say good luck to all of them. And great job also to the Santa Lucia's choir. You sounded excellent. I know I mentioned in our last board meeting, I want to thank again and echo Mr. Vice Chair Lane, the Ed Foundation Go Teach Grants event. Thank you again, Ed Foundation, for all you do for our school district. And I want to echo the sentiments my other board members expressed about our veterans and our great country we live in. And I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Whitfield.
Thank you very much. I have just a few things I would like to talk about today. First of which, today I had the opportunity to be on a panel speaking about hunger with our community at the Farm City Luncheon. That was an absolute pleasure to be able to be there, just to talk a little bit about the different resources that we get from the farms in our community. And we are so privileged to have such great partnerships with our school food service department and our farmers, and so many business partners in the community who support our backpack programs, our field trips that we've been doing in our community. So we just want to say a huge thank you to them, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone about that. Secondly, this past week we had the opportunity to, at Boynton Beach High School, which, as everybody knows, is a B-rated school this past year, which is an amazing achievement. I'm super, super proud of it. The city of Boynton Beach decided that they wanted to recognize our teachers. So on Veterans Day, before we came here, we had a breakfast at Boynton Beach High School that was sponsored by the city. Commissioner Amy Kelly organized it. We also had Commissioner Greg Weiss from the county came to recognize our teachers and thank them for their amazing work that brought Boynton Beach to a B-rated school. So I really just want to say a huge thank you to the city of Boynton for recognizing our teachers, realizing the amazing work that they did, and recognizing how amazing it is to have a school in your community, a high school that is B-rated, and what that does for a community on the whole. And finally, finally, I want to just recognize one of my other awesome principals. We have Elena Villani here from Lake Worth High School. She's brought her husband and her children with her today because she is going to be receiving and has received the Florida Arts Education Association Principal of the Year. This is not even her first Principal of the Year award from a different organization. So I am exceptionally proud. Having an amazing leader in Lake Worth Beach has done so much for our community. I am so grateful for her service, and so I just want to say a huge thank you for everything you do and a congratulations, and I'm so privileged to have you as one of my principals. Finally, happy Thanksgiving to everyone here. I hope you have a wonderful time with your families. Enjoy the time off. I know, again, most popular thing we've ever done is give the week off at Thanksgiving. I think it says a lot about the work that you all do during the year and how much we appreciate you and how much we would like you to be able to spend time with your family, but also remain safe during this time, when travel can be so challenging. So I'm grateful to all of you for all of your work, everyone who contributes to the success of this district. Our children, my children, are better for it, and I'm very grateful to you. So as we think about Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for the school district and everyone's contribution, including all of my board members up here. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Ms. Savalleto.
Yes, I'd like to ask for a few more minutes or a couple more minutes, I don't know.
Yes, and I made sure that the bell is not going to ring.
Thank you. I definitely don't want to be rushing. I attended the district's Veterans Day ceremony where the Forest Steel, our OTC, presented the colors and the Palm Beach Lakes Ensemble performed beautifully. I was so touched. We also heard from powerful stories from Nicole Smith and Julia Datolo, two remarkable veterans whose leadership continues to inspire our community. We honor employees who served our country, as Mr. Burke mentioned, including my own executive assistant, Tina Senior. She's there posing with Ms. Marcia Andrews. I am so grateful for every person who continues serving our students in our district. I joined the Goods and Services Summit to welcome small businesses, owners, and community partners. Events like this strengthen collaboration between the business community and our schools, expanding opportunities for families and future workforce pathways. Thank you to Patrick and the team for supporting local entrepreneurs and growing partnerships that benefit our students and our local economy. I attended the Planting Seeds of Literacy Festival at the Palm Springs Library. It was a joyful event centered on reading, creativity, and family engagement. Families enjoyed crafts. Even I did that little planting thing. It was so awesome. Activities, storytelling, and local agencies share resources with parents. I am grateful for the Village of Palm Springs for bringing everyone together to support literacy. When communities and schools work together, we open doors for every child. I joined the ISA Fall Leadership meeting celebrating 20 years or 20 años of the International Spanish Academy in the district. We recognize David Zamora's vision, who started it all. Thank you to Okihili Middle School for hosting and John I. Lerner culinary students for an outstanding meal. ISA continues creating opportunities by preparing bilingual students for a global economy and strengthening trusts with families. I attended a workshop hosted by Hispanos Unidos and led by Dr. Patricia Ordóñez in our multicultural department. These sessions give parents the tools to navigate schools, communicate with teachers, and understand available supports. When families feel informed and supported, students gain real opportunities. Gracias, Dr. Ordóñez. I had the chance to attend the Murder on the Orient Express at Dr. Joaquin Garcia High School. Our students deliver an exceptional performance on stage and behind the scenes. Thank you to Jason Zembach Young for his leadership, and a special shout out to the Latinos in Action students who translated live. A big applause to the student production crews who handled sets, lighting, sound, and backstage work. Their talent, it's outstanding. Investing in their arts builds confidence, creativity, and opportunity for our students. And I would love for our colleagues here at the dais to go support them at their next event, because it's out of this world. I attended the Student and Apprentice Summit, celebrating students gaining new skills and pathways. Thank you to Mr. Barge and the Adult Ed team for supporting students with programs that lead to real jobs and stability. I also attended the launch of Palm Beach County's new bookmobile. As a board member of the Library Advisory Board, it was so much fun to see this modern mobile library ready to bring books, creativity, and imagination directly into neighborhoods. Thank you to the County Commission and the library leadership for expanding access to literacy in such a meaningful way. Bringing resources for families strengthens our entire community, and that was my former boss, Mr. Johnson at Graphics. We did, and they still do all the graphics, the amazing stuff that the library puts out. As a part of Latin Quarter West Palm Beach, this is a small and mighty nonprofit, I want to share this year's Refill the Backpack effort. Instead of one large event like last year, we're going directly into 5 schools in the Latin Quarter area to reach students where the need is. A donation of $75 supports one student with practical essentials like uniform pieces, shoes, warm clothes like sweatshirts, hygiene products, and school supplies. You can sponsor one or as many as you wish. One student, of course, or as many as you wish, inviting our community partners and everyone who can join us. Some of you will be receiving emails from my personal account in text messages. So there's information on the screen. You can always reach out to find out more. And as we approach Thanksgiving, I want to say also how truly grateful I am. This month marks one year that I was sworn in as a school board member for District 2 and serving our families, students, and schools. It has been one of the greatest honors of my life. Mr. Lane, you took my words. Thank you for your trust and your partnership. We're stronger when we work together. And congratulations, Chair Brill and Vice Chair, Mr. Lane. Now I'm gonna miss you being on my right here. You used to get my candy and my cheese, and thank you. I'm so proud of you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Feliz Día de Acción de Gracias to you and your loved ones. Wishing everyone a restful and well-deserved week ahead.
Thank you.
Point
So
of
that's
information.
now going to bring us to,
Point of information. So how do we just go so far past 4 minutes without an actual motion to extend?
so
Because I'm saying that because had I known that, then I would not have had to run through my comments as fast as I did had we known we were going to have that additional time. So how did that even work out?
So when we had our meeting on the board policy, it was stated in the meeting that board members didn't want a bell and that they didn't want to be shut down. And, you know, there's going to be times when they might go a little bit over. So I gave her the courtesy.
Little bit over, sure. 50%, no. And I don't have a problem with her going over, but that was not the spirit of what we discussed. It would have been, the spirit was what happened with board member Andrews. She was 5 to 10 seconds over, sure. And my bell went off. Luckily, I was under. So we need to get that under. We need to get that straightened out moving forward. I don't have a problem with anybody going over a few seconds or what have you. But again, if it's 4 minutes, it's 4 minutes. And
Well, why don't I
we didn't have
suggest that we have a
conversation.
discussion item at a future meeting, and we can discuss it, and if we need to bring back the policy again, we can, but this is not the appropriate time to have a discussion. So we can, let's bring it back as a
Point of
discussion.
information, I don't need to do a subsequent discussion, but I am going to say it on the record. It would have been good to have known that going in. If that was already decided, whenever it was decided, then let everybody know, because I didn't know. So I am taking exception to it, and it is a point of information. And I'm saying it on the record today. We don't need to belabor it beyond this. Let's just be better moving forward.
Okay, so that's now going to bring us to presentations, and now Ms. Naka Nolam from the Communications and Engagement Department joins us for the November recognitions. Good evening, Naka, board members, and Ms. Weiss. Let's go down for the presentations.
Good evening, Chair Brill, Vice Chair Lane, board members, Superintendent Burke, staff, and community. And this evening, we have 3 recognitions on the agenda. So we begin with a recognition for Ms. Elena Villani, the principal at Lake Worth Community High School. She received the 2025 Principal Administrator of the Year Award from the Florida Art Education Association. The award acknowledges the vital role administrators play in championing the arts, and it is presented to a school-based principal administrator in the state of Florida who has provided exemplary support for art education in their school. Ms. Villani has worked in the district for more than 20 years. She considers it an incredible honor to receive the award. She believes that the arts give students confidence, creativity, and joy, reminding them that who they are matters just as much as how they perform. She says the most meaningful part of her job isn't just watching students graduate, but seeing them do so with a well-rounded education and a sense of purpose. For her, the greatest reward is seeing her students gain the courage to take chances, think big, and discover the incredible potential that has been within them all along. In addition, under Ms. Villani's leadership, Lake Worth High School's graduation rate increased to 99%. Congratulations to Ms. Elena Villani for receiving the Principal Administrator of the Year Award from the Florida Art Education Association. Let's give her a round of applause. Next, we are recognizing 4 physical education teachers who received awards from the Society of Health and Physical Educators, SHAPE Florida. Gabriel Montanez is a physical education teacher at Forest Hill Elementary School. He received SHAPE Florida's Elementary Physical Education Teacher of the Year award. Mr. Montanez is in his 5th year with the district. To him, the most meaningful part of his job is seeing students build confidence and resilience. He takes pride in helping every child realize they can succeed in physical activity, regardless of skill level. Beyond physical skills, he values teaching teamwork, perseverance, and qualities that help students both in and out of the gym. Congratulations to Gabriel Montanez for receiving the SHAPE Florida's Elementary Physical Education Teacher of the Year award. And we also want to acknowledge the principal, Mr. Scott McNichols. Let's give Mr. Montanez a round of applause. Ms. Tunisia Cielo is a physical education teacher at H.L. Watkins Middle School. She was named SHAPE Florida's Middle School Physical Education Teacher of the Year. Ms. Cielo has been working in the district for 6 years, and she says the most meaningful part of being a physical education teacher is getting to mentor kids in ways that go far beyond running laps or learning a game. Whether she's setting up a fitness challenge or encouraging a student to finish a race, she gets to serve as a trusted adult who helps students build stronger habits and confidence, as well as a stronger sense of who they can become. Congratulations to Tunisia Cielo on being named SHAPE Florida's Middle School Physical Education Teacher of the Year. And we also want to, yes. And we just want to acknowledge the school's principal, Dr. Presley Charles. Let's give her another round of applause. Marcela Mendoza and Eddie Riccio are physical education teachers at West Boynton Middle School. They were instrumental in their school receiving the Shape Florida Manny Heragionis Program Recognition Award for an outstanding statewide physical education program. Ms. Mendoza has been with the district for 21 years. She feels that the most meaningful part of being a physical education teacher is helping students discover their own power, not because they are athletic, but because they are capable of being better than where they were the day before. It is incredibly rewarding for her to watch her students grow and mature over the 3 years they spend in middle school, developing confidence, resilience, and hopefully a lifelong appreciation for wellness. For Mr. Riccio, this is his 7th year as a middle school physical education teacher in the district. The most meaningful part of his job is helping students develop core values and personal skills that will stay with them for a lifetime. He believes that physical education is about helping students build confidence, resilience, cooperation, and respect. He considers it a privilege to create lessons where students can challenge themselves, support one another, and realize their own potential. Knowing that he plays a role in shaping well-rounded, capable, and caring young people is what makes his work truly meaningful. Congratulations to Marcela Mendoza and Eddie Riccio at West Boynton Middle School for earning the Shape Florida Manny Heragionis Program Recognition Award for an outstanding statewide physical education program. And we also want to acknowledge the school's principal, Mr. Joe Apicia. And finally, this evening, we are recognizing Florida Power and Light for their exceptional generosity. For the period of September 2024 through this month, FPL has made a remarkable impact by contributing more than $300,000 in grant funding to the school district that has supported high-quality STEM programs, provided valuable resources, and supported initiatives like the Empowering STEM Educators Program and the FPL STEM Classroom Makeover Grant. As 2025 marks FPL's 100 years of service, the School District of Palm Beach County, the Education Foundation of Palm Beach County, and all the students and educators who have benefited from this partnership extend our heartfelt gratitude. FPL's commitment to empowering classrooms and igniting potential within our schools has transformed learning experiences and inspired the next generation. Thank you for being a true champion of education in our community. We are very grateful for your generosity. Here to accept this recognition from Florida Power and Light, we have Isabella Burkhart, Community Relations Specialist, Kate Kottner, Director of Community Engagement, Natalie Fisher, Senior Communication Strategist, Jasmine Govin, Senior Community Relations Specialist, Elan Koffer, External Affairs Manager, Amy Kemp, External Affairs Manager, Don Kizalewski, Executive Director, External Affairs Central, and Marietta Theodoris, Project Manager. Let's give them a round of applause. And we also just want to acknowledge from the Education Foundation of Palm Beach County, Mr. James Gervillos, the President and CEO, Teresa West, Chief Engagement Officer, Jennifer Etheridge, Director of Programs and Grants, and Alexa Guy, Programs and Grants Specialist. We always thank them for their contributions. Board Chair Brill, Vice Chair Lane, board members, Superintendent Burke, staff, and members of the community. This concludes the recognitions for November. Thank you, everyone, for your attention this evening.
Okay, that's now going to bring us to our student government report. The government report will be given by Ellery Weiss, our Student Government Association president.
Thank you and good evening, Superintendent Burke, Chairwoman Brill, Vice Chairman Lane, members of the board, and members of the general public. I'm excited to share that tomorrow, Dr. Joaquin Garcia will be hosting the second county meeting of the year. The school has been working diligently in preparations for tomorrow's meeting, along with the county board of members. During this meeting, schools present will be voting upon a resolution proposed by Dr. Joaquin Garcia. The resolution was sent out prior to the meeting, and the floor will be open to debate. Moreover, I have been working with Toys for Tots, a nonprofit initiative that partners with local communities to provide gifts to children who might not otherwise receive them during the holidays, to host a county-wide toy drive. Each school is required to bring at least 2 new unopened toys to be donated at the county meeting. Furthermore, I would like to encourage all schools in Palm Beach County to host their own toy drives. In an email I sent out to Palm Beach County Association of Student Council Advisors about information regarding the countywide toy drive, I included step-by-step instructions and a screen recording on how to request to become a toy drop site if they wish to do so. For schools unable to host their own toy drives or would like to donate outside of tomorrow's meeting, Jupiter High School will be a drop-off site until December 5th. Additionally, there are several drop-off bins at local restaurants and shops across Palm Beach County. In regards to the Fighting Hunger One Bite at a Time survey that closed November 7th, it is with overwhelming pride that I shared that we received a total of 27,883 responses from students across our county. Last year, the survey received 14,654 responses. In comparison, this year's survey responses grew by over 190%. I couldn't be prouder of the outcome we had. With this, 2 schools with the highest percentage of participation based on their school size will be presented an award. One will be presented to a school with a student population of 1,000 or more, and the other will be presented to a school with a student population of 999 or less. The award will be given in April of 2026. Finally, I would like to remind all Palm Beach County schools to please continue filling out the local school updates form that is posted on the PBC ASC Instagram. It will be open all year and is able to be filled out multiple times. This form allows me to receive news, accomplishments, and other information schools would like me to share about their students at school board meetings. Thank you for your time, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ms. Weiss. That's going to bring us to our committee reports. There's no academic advisory committee report tonight. The audit committee report is attached to the agenda. Construction Oversight Review Committee, the report is also attached to the agenda. The Diversity and Equity Committee does not have a report tonight. General Counsel, do you have a report for us?
No report, thank you.
Okay, Inspector General, do you have a report for us?
No report.
Thank you. So that's going to bring us to our elected officials and delegates. We'll start with James Gavrilos, President and CEO of the Education Foundation.
Good evening, Madam Chair, and congratulations. Congratulations as well, Vice Chair Lane, and welcome to the Education Foundation Board. I texted out to our board, and congratulations to you have been flowing in. Ms. Whitfield, we thank you for your service to our board, and of course, Ms. Brill, we're starting to have a nice little retired Education Foundation board up there. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I want to offer thanks to a couple of different groups, certainly the school board for your ongoing support, but the local business community. I want to pick up again, and the Florida Power and Light people are still with us, and there are so many things for which we could comment on what they do. Which one do I choose? 6'7", 6'7". I can't believe I actually just did that, but anyway. You are very well aware of the STEM Classroom Makeover grants. We've talked about that for the last couple of weeks. Those were 4 $50,000 grants granted to 4 of our schools. Ms. Meredith Trim also contributed 2. So a total of $300,000 was poured into our local STEM programs here. But in addition, Florida Power and Light also does the Empowering STEM Educators. I've talked about this before, where this is so out-of-the-box thinking. Their grant allows the principals to hire substitute teachers so that our teachers can learn from the best. The best STEM educators we have in the district gather on a periodic basis. I believe there was one just yesterday at Diamond View Elementary, Highland Elementary, Hidden Oaks, and Verde. These things go on. Yesterday's was at Del Prado, where our best STEM educators can practice peer-to-peer training. The Florida Power and Light grant allows the home principals to bring in substitutes. As if that weren't enough, the Empowering Future Leaders Workforce Development Program, it's a drone program that we're now working with, obviously, the school district and our friends at the Forest Hill High School Junior ROTC program. These young people are coming through this program with aviation training, with remote piloted aircraft systems, advanced air mobility, and a number of certifications that will allow them to find employment either in the military or in the private sector. And ladies and gentlemen, it all starts with Florida Power and Light, and we simply cannot thank them enough. As I said yesterday, Mr. Lane, you were present, we think of Florida Power and Light, FP&L, as a power company. They are not. They are an empowerment company, and they empower our students and our community, and we could not be more grateful for your assistance to Don, Amy, Kate, and the entire team at FP&L. Also, some Thanksgiving tonight. Supervisor of Elections Wendy Link has shared with us a number of things that she had some extras, some shields that the teachers are using when they're giving tests. She donated 500 mini iPads, which we're now using in Pahokee, Marcia, and in a number of our literacy programs where the young people now have the technology in their hands that they can access their training and put it into practice. As if that weren't enough, Supervisor Link contacted me earlier last week. Karen, sit down for this one. She is donating to our Red Apple Supply program 400,000 pens. That's 21 pallets of pens that the supervisor had in their warehouse and needed to move on, and she's donating it to our Red Apple Supply program. Superintendent Burke, it's that kind of support you have from the local business community that really does make the Education Foundation work, and it allows us to serve you, the school board, but most importantly, the teachers, students, schools in the best school district in the state of Florida. So as we have a happy Thanksgiving to all of you, we want to thank you. We want to welcome Mr. Lane to our board. We thank Florida Power and Light, Supervisor of Elections Wendy Link, and all of our business partners. Thank you for powering the engine that drives us forward. Have a great week.
Thank you. Gordon Longhofer, CTA President.
If I heard right, good evening, Chair Brill, Vice Chair Lane, members of the board, Superintendent Burke, honored guests. I brought a friend or two tonight. It's American Education Week. And during American Education Week across this state with Florida Education Association, we have been in different ways celebrating public schools, bringing them to light, sometimes with social media posts, sometimes in parts of the state with different actions, celebrating the achievements of our public schools, celebrating teachers, acknowledging all that they do. We have great, highly effective teachers here in Palm Beach County, and the district's successes speak to that. The A rating, the high academic performing district designation, the 44 schools of excellence. I can tell you, teachers appreciate the praise they receive. But more than that, they deserve and need a raise, one that is truly meaningful. And allows them to pay their bills, receive affordable medical care, take a vacation once in a while, and retire with dignity. In other words, they deserve to be able to meet their operating costs. Tonight, Tonight, you're going to hear from a number of teachers. Their stories are unique, and they ring of selfless sacrifice so that every student they see, regardless of the student's ethnicity, income level, religion, or other identifying label, receives a world-class education they deserve, giving them the opportunity for a successful life filled with purpose. I think we can agree that 2 jobs is one too many. But that is exactly what many of these teachers must have just to meet their personal budgets or their operating costs. I implore you, give ear to their stories tonight. Then find a path that moves them to a better life, free of distractions, so they can devote themselves fully to the task ahead of them, that of teaching this community's most precious asset, our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Erica Hand, Vice President of Programs, Junior Achievement of Palm Beach and the Treasure Coast. And I like your suit.
We're twinning today. How appropriate, right? Good evening, Chairwoman Brill, Vice Chair Lane, board members, and Superintendent Burke. My name is Erica Hen, Vice President of Education at Junior Achievement of the Palm Beaches and Treasure Coast. Junior Achievement is proud to continue our strong partnership with Palm Beach County Schools in preparing our students for all of their future possibilities. With your support, we are equipping students with the knowledge, skills, and inspiration they need to build successful futures and connect classroom learning to real-world opportunities. Earlier in the month, you probably heard about it, JA Inspire brought 2 engaging days of career exploration to life at Cacti Park of the Palm Beaches. Over 2,300 students, 8th graders, attended each day, engaging in hands-on activities with local businesses, trade professionals, and post-secondary institutions. Students explored pathways across sectors including health sciences, hospitality, construction, public safety, skilled trades, technology, and more. This experience helps students to make meaningful connections right here in their county between their interests and future opportunities available to them while reinforcing the importance of their academic journey and all of the options that Palm Beach County has to offer. The event also welcomes Superintendent Burke, thanks for coming out, and many district leaders who experienced firsthand how this initiative supports student engagement, career awareness, and future planning. We look forward to welcoming the final group of 8th graders on December 5th to conclude this year's Junior Achievement Inspire experience at Cacti Park. This week, I am taking the show on the road for JA Global Entrepreneurship Week. We are bringing 7 inspiring guest speakers into our local high school classrooms across the county as these speakers share their personal journeys in entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. Students are having the opportunity to ask questions, hear real-world stories, and explore how creative ideas can grow into thriving enterprises. Earlier this week, students participated in a virtual field trip to Orium Jewel Company, gaining insight into small business ownership in the luxury goods industry. And Friday, we will conclude the week at a field trip to Atlas Event Rental, where students in global business and tourism will tour the company's operations and logistics in action, connecting what they're learning in the classroom to real-world applications in the workforce. JA Elementary Career Exploration Fairs were held at Crystal Lakes, Jerry Thomas, and Gladeview. And Board Member Andrews, we appreciate you coming out. We saw those pictures of you on the bus, so we are glad you were able to come out and see how we're offering students early exposure to a wide variety of careers. So as they make those decisions and go to the choice careers, they can see the pathways in front of them. These on-campus interactive events featured local professionals, representing diverse industries. Students rotated through different career stations, learned about different jobs. They were asked to dress up as their future careers and learned about the skills, educations, and interests needed for each role. At the high school level, students from Lake Worth High School's Future Educators Academy participated in High School Heroes, traveling to Cross Point where they had the opportunity to teach 2nd grade students foundational junior achievement lessons. Students had the opportunity to get in the classroom, teach firsthand, be the leader of that class, and have a deeper connection to their own professional pathway, a new respect for their own teachers once they are the teacher in the classroom. In parallel, JA college champions from Kaiser University and Palm Beach Atlantic University completed their semester of service by delivering JA programs in elementary classrooms across the district. We are so grateful for Palm Beach County School Board's continued investment in programs that build purpose, preparedness, and possibilities for our students. Thank you for helping to bring these impactful programs to classrooms across the district. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you. Sylvia Hall, PTA PTSA President.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sylvia Hall, Palm Beach County PTSA President. Our mission of the PTA is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. Reminders, the Reflections Art program is still ongoing. The deadline is to submit to our county is early December. And if there's any children, any student out there who would like to participate but that don't have a PTA, they can join the statewide PTA Sunshine PTA, the Florida Sunshine PTA. Also a reminder that Florida PTA scholarships for graduating students, the applications are open. The deadline is March 2nd, 2026. Compliance. This November 15 was the day of the IRS filing for our local units. That's part of being a 501c3 public charity, and that's required by the IRS to be in compliance. I would like to talk about advocacy. Every year, Florida PTA holds a legislative conference in Tallahassee. This year will take place from January 25th to 27th of 2026. Everybody, like I said, members from all over Florida will be joining in Tallahassee to advocate for our schools and our students. And everybody can join Florida PTA Voters Voice. You can go to the Florida PTA website and sign up to receive any updates or any advocacy or take action items. I would like to mention that Florida PTA is reinstating again the Student Heal Day. And most of the school board members, you might have received an email from our advocacy chair. And what is this? It's a Starway civic engagement initiative that provides middle and high school students with the opportunity to travel to Tallahassee, meet with legislators, observe the legislative process, and engage directly in advocacy. And this is aligned directly with our Florida Civics Education curriculum and standards. The other thing is, as we're moving forward with the next year legislative session in Tallahassee, one of the things I would like to mention is, like, we always advocate for properly funding our public schools, and we're going to be doing that this year. Also, I would like to mention something that has been on the news these couple of weeks. It's this called Schools of Hope, of co-location. And for the people who don't know what that means, what it means is it's a law that allows for private charter school organizations to co-locate in public schools. The expenses for maintenance, construction, food service, janitors, etc., will be borne by the school districts rather than the schools of hope operators, creating a new unfunded mandate on Florida's public school. Per the Orlando Sentinel, it seems that the Palm Beach County received nearly 70 requests for 46 schools. Before I go, because I would like to remind that this is the 50th year of the Individuals and Disabilities Education Act. And tomorrow at 3 p.m., National PTA will have a webinar on that. You can join National PTA on their website, on the YouTube channel. And before I go, I would like to say Happy Thanksgiving, Feliz Día de Acción de Gracias, and I'm running out of time. Thank you.
Thank you. Charmaine Postal, Education Chair of the Florida PTA.
Good evening, Chair Brill, Vice Chair, members of the school board, superintendent, and district staff. Charmaine Postal, and today I am wearing the hat of Florida PTA Education Chair and member of the Legislative Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to provide this update. There is some redundancy with the previous speaker, but it's okay. So just to start off, November is designated as PTA Healthy Lifestyles Month, a national initiative promoting healthy habits for students, families through good nutrition, physical activity, and overall wellness. This month, it also recognized the National PTA Family Engagement, encouraging strong school-family partnership that supports student success. Across the country, many local PTAs also use November to highlight issues such as men's health awareness, mental health support, and reducing stigma around mental health challenges. We appreciate our Palm Beach County PTAs for the meaningful work they continue to do in these areas. November is also Youth Caregiving Month, honoring the millions of children and teens who provide care at home for family members. Last week, a bipartisan congressional resolution was passed acknowledging caregiving youth nationwide, a significant step forward. Here in Palm Beach County, we're proud to recognize Dr. Connie Siskowski, who is not only with the American Association of Caregiving Youth for their pioneering work, but she also have been a dedicated supporter of Florida PTA, Palm Beach County PTA, and PTAs throughout our county. So thank you for continuing to shape the national awareness. As we prepare for the upcoming legislative session, just a couple of updates from my colleague. We are currently tracking all the filed bills from Tallahassee, identifying priority issues, reviewing alignment with PTA resolutions and positions, and providing timely updates to families and community partners. As Sylvia mentioned, our Palm Beach County PTA president mentioned, our annual legislative conference that's taking place on January 25th to the 27th in Tallahassee, Florida. The new component, the Student Hill Day on January 27th, I am actually a co-lead on that initiative, and registration is open, sponsorships are available, and additional information can be provided. You can see me after, or you can send me an email at education.committee@floridapta.org. PTA advocacy chairs across Florida are beginning outreach to legislators and preparing legislative meetings for Capitol Days. As the Palm Beach County Advocacy Chair, I welcome the opportunity to connect with the board, or a lot of teachers are in here, teachers and CTA, to discuss priorities and ensuring that our delegation advocates effectively on behalf of students, educators, staff, school board, because we're gonna need a lot of it, and public schools is our top priority. Finally, in bringing attention to the critical charter co-location filings, following the recent expansion of the state law, at least 690 letters of intent have been filed by Schools of Hope charter operators across 22 counties, with nearly 300 filings targeting schools in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. These filings open the door for private charter operators to co-locate inside of our schools. I want to share that tomorrow, a coalition of parent groups, PTAs, educators, community organizations will hold an urgent press conference in response to this unprecedented surge of Schools of Hope charter operators seeking to co-locate inside of our schools. This press conference will be held in Miami because it is a tri-county effort at 2:15 p.m. in front of Shadow Lawn Elementary School. That's 149 Northwest 49th Street, Miami, Florida. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I just give a special shout out to Eric Stern. My daughter just got her permit, and leave you with this: a child who feels safe.
Thank you very much. Okay, so board members, we do not have any agenda item speakers. That's going to bring us to the consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Ms. Whitfield, second by Vice Chair Lane. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We don't have any unfinished business, so that's going to bring us, Mr. Superintendent, to new business.
Yes, I recommend approval of the interlocal agreement between the Village of Wellington and the School Board for traffic signal installation at the intersection of Lake Worth Road and Isle Drive as it relates to Polo Park Middle School, and authorize the chair and superintendent to sign all necessary documents.
Motion by Ms. Andrews, second by Ms. Whitfield. I believe someone pulled that. Was that Mr. Ferguson? Did you pull that?
I did. I pulled it because when we met with the majority of the Palm Beach County State Legislature, there was a question posed by one of the representatives. I don't remember her name now, but there was a school where I believe 1 or 2 children were injured. I think it was bicycles or something like that, and she asked whether we would be able to build a road that would provide them safe access, ingress and egress onto the campus. And I thought it was said that we didn't have the ability to do that. And so just for that reason, I was kind of surprised that we're paying a pretty substantial amount of the cost to install a traffic light. And I'm wondering what's the difference between the two situations.
So yes, I recall that conversation. It was regarding Woodlands Middle School. I believe it was Representative Weinberg that posed the question. This situation is different. We do work with the county on an ongoing basis. We meet monthly with our respective teams to analyze traffic situations. And we have added traffic signals before and shared the cost. For this school, this school was built about 20 years ago. And the traffic conditions have changed quite a bit over that time period. And things have gotten much more congested. And the middle school is not the sole cause of the traffic here. There's other factors, just with the growth we've seen in our county. So we felt it was fair on this one to share the cost. It will benefit our school and our parents and students. The question that was posed to me regarding the middle school and maybe adding a lane for a designated bike lane, to me felt like a much grander project that just was way outside the scope of what we do as far as we don't create our own roads, we don't create our own paths or our own sidewalks. And that's where I felt like that was a bridge too far. But we have done this, and you'll probably see more of these in the future. We're working on right now for Limestone Creek Elementary School.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
FMPA 4, I recommend the board approve the purchase of kindergarten readiness kits from Hand to Mind, Inc., not to exceed $308,336.
Motion by Ms. Whitfield, second by Ms. Branch. Mr. Ferguson?
Yeah, I pulled this one too, just to get clarity on the timeline from when the parents receive the kindergarten readiness kit into when school starts. The registration period, is it not in April of the year preceding the start of the school?
Well, yes, generally you're right. In the spring, April, May, we've formalized that kind of transition to kindergarten process to make sure that we're welcoming all of our incoming kindergartners. Next year will be the class of 2039. And this is part of that piece, to try to help kids to be kindergarten ready. As luck would have it, our Chief Academic Officer, Maria Bishop, has the kit on her table. It's a new kit this year that merges both the English language arts and mathematics into one box, but very similar from what we've done in the past. And we do think this is helping raise the kindergarten readiness levels.
Madam Chair, question for CAO through the superintendent. What's in the box?
What's in the box, Ms. Bishop? I'll start. Well, no, go ahead, Ms. Bishop. You're the expert.
Good afternoon. So we have some resources for parents. I have a parent guide, a 32-page parent guide, which features over 60 leveled activities and games. We have 24-page wipe and write activity books for the students to reuse. We have a one write and whiteboard, the storage box. We have math and counting tools, about 60 shape pieces, 20 critter counters. For literacy and fine motor tools, we have 52 upper and lowercase letters, 34 picture cards, puzzle cards, a gator grabber fine motor tool. That's all that's in here.
So that's 4 months before school starts, and I think most people know how much of an advocate I am for early education. Kids that start behind tend to stay behind. So would it be feasible, would it be possible for us to maybe go a year before, go into the child care centers and try to disseminate these? I've never heard of us doing that, but it seems to me that might be a more prudent utilization of our costs, because in 4 months, it's unlikely that a child who is not kindergarten ready is going to be kindergarten ready. And we see the negative effects of children who start behind in terms of being able to get ahead of the curve, shall we say, during their 13 years or more in our system.
These kits are designed for children aged 4 through 6. We like to make that connection with the incoming family, to welcome them to Palm Beach County, show them why we're your best choice. and we complement the kit with a series of videos that are done in 3 languages. I think that's something I probably need to take back to my team and see if we could try to extend our reach a year early. Typically, we don't have that much interaction with the students that far in advance. And I know you're a strong supporter. Like, we know a high-quality pre-K or VPK program is so beneficial that, 72% of kids that finish VPK are considered school-ready when they finish. And so anything we can do to strengthen those partnerships, we're interested in. So we can kick that around maybe with the Children's Service Council, the Early Learning Coalition, and see what we can come up with.
And the reason I'm particularly sensitive about this is because I was just in front of the Lake Worth Commission last night. In one of my District 7 schools, over the last 3 years, their kindergarten readiness score was 9, 13, and 9. And there was kind of like a gasp in the room as if we did it, and we really didn't. And so I understand what you're saying, Superintendent, that it's 4 to 6. Well, most of those children who are starting kindergarten are for the year before, at least for part of the year. So it's a new paradigm that maybe we need to consider. And I don't want to belabor the point. I support the purchase and utilization of these kits, but I would like to see us expand our scope, because there is a lot at stake. When we have children like at this school, 9% of the kids are kindergarten ready, which goes to say 91% were not. Again, that's not something that's truly a district issue per se, but we are a children's keeper in that regard. And if it's not something that is a budget buster, my very unsophisticated way of saying it doesn't cost too much or it's going to upset our budget, then I think we should try to do that moving forward. So you've already said that you're going to take it back to your team. I'm not going to belabor it, but if it's something that can reasonably be done, I would like to see us do it in the upcoming years.
Okay, I'll just offer, yeah, thank you. These kits are no substitute for a high-quality pre-K program. It's a nice touch. It's a boost to get the parents working with their little person, maybe help dispel any anxiety about going to kindergarten and having some of those basic skills. But I think we also have to, and I know you've advocated for this as well as the whole board, not every family's taking advantage of the free VPK that's already in place provided by the state. It's a half day for 180 days, the regular school year, or a full day summer program. Either one of those has tremendous benefit to the students. So I think we have to take a multifaceted approach to trying to get more and more students high quality pre-K, and so that when they come to us as kindergartners, like you said, they're ready to go. But yeah, we'll continue to work on this.
Thank you.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ferguson, with the comment. But I want to tell you, when Deputy Superintendent Ed Tierney was here, this was his baby. And this is one of the greatest things I think we've done in a long time with our pre-K children, to have these kits for the families. I've just been in a lot of schools where parents are lined up waiting to get these kits to help their children. So I want to commend the school district of Palm Beach County, because we did not do this in the past. And when we brought this forth, it has made a difference for those families. It's certainly a thing that the school centers are interfacing with the parents. They're just so thrilled to be able to have this early learning kit to work with their children before they actually begin the school center, with the particular school. So it's twofold: good for the school, good for the parent, and certainly great for the children. So I commend you for taking this step and maybe taking it to the next level. But please, we have to pass this, because parents are waiting on this. Thank you.
Vice Chair Lane?
Yes, I also want to commend Ms. Bishop and Ms. Wyatt. This is a first step, and I can see you already making a difference for these children. So thank you, and this is just the beginning of many great things I expect to see from both of you. I'm so happy that you're in your positions, and I also agree with Mr. Ferguson. I think we need to attack this as soon as possible. I'm excited that we're going to look into the next step. If only 9% are kindergarten ready, we need to address that problem, and we've got the right team in place to do so. So thank you very much.
Ms. Savallero?
Thank you. Yes, I definitely am excited about those boxes. But one of the initiative that I have started in my district is to visit the different daycares, establish a relationship with them, to make sure that they know what we're doing at the district, ask questions about how they're doing, what programs they're using. I've heard sometimes that the kids that come from private daycares, not our VPK programs, sometimes are not well prepared. So unfortunately, I don't know how much we can do at the district level, but personally, I think I can establish relationships, open those doors of communication. So, for many of my colleagues here, they, if they had the time or the willingness, I think that could be something really nice, to start visiting your own daycares in your district and ask questions. And then we can maybe just assess a little more of maybe where the children may be going. You'll be able to bump into parents as they come in and maybe have a relationship with some of the parents. And I think that's how we get to work in our communities. It's just also to get to know our daycares, the ones that are not affiliated with the district, but the private ones. Thank you.
Ms. Whitfield?
Thank you. So I've had the opportunity to use this kit with my daughter. It was super fun. I'm glad, not this kit specifically, the ones we had before. It was really, I think, beneficial for families to really start thinking about how they can engage with their children as they go through the educational process and what we're hoping for from them. So I think it's a bit of a project for them to do, but also an educational opportunity for us to the parents, for us to communicate with the parents. And I'm very glad that we do it. The numbers in Lake Worth that you're talking about, Mr. Ferguson, are devastating. And I think the biggest issue we have there is just families not taking part in any VPK program at all. These children need that access, they need that opportunity, they need that structured learning so that their numbers can be higher, and so we can give that assistance to our elementary schools in Lake Worth that are coming in with such low numbers. But I think this is such a great opportunity, and I'm thrilled that we have it. And I just want to say again, thank you to staff for continuing to provide this opportunity to our families. I think it's a very good use of our funds to make sure that people are having this opportunity to realize that they are their children's first teacher, and this is a great way for them to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ferguson?
Following up on Board Member Whitfield's point, she actually refreshed my recollection. So 2 of the city council people came to me after my presentation and said, part of the reason is the fact that we have such a large demographic whose households are not primarily English speakers. So again, sometimes people don't know what they don't know. And so the sooner we can get this out, I just think that's just best practices. So again, obviously it's not a critique on it. Well, it is a critique, but it's a constructive critique. I think the chief academic officer and her team are doing a great job, and as I've already said, I support this. But I would like us to have some additional, more substantive and deeper conversation in terms of how we can have even greater influence on our incoming kindergartners, because again, those who start behind do tend to stay behind. And lastly, if you look at the data, anybody can pull the data on the schools in Lake Worth or any city for that matter. The principals are doing an exceptional job. The teams at those 2 Lake Worth schools are doing an exceptional job. You'll see that the kindergarten readiness at one school was like a 9 and the others a 13, but then the 3rd grade performance is not like at a 20, they're like in the 30 or 40 percentile. So they're doing some great work. So it occurred to me that how much better could they be if, say, the kindergarten readiness scores were at 45 or 48. So we're talking about having truly A-rated schools across the district and not just simply an A-rated district. So this is a very substantive and, dare I say, nuanced proposition that I'm presenting. But the time is now. We have these silly School of Hope laws and things of that nature. We have to be much more aggressive in terms of what we present as public education here in the county to make sure that parents understand that we are, in fact, the best choice. And some other things that probably relate to some of the speakers here, I think, tie into what I'm saying too. But in any event, I support this issue, this policy, and I just wanted to have this brief discussion with you all tonight. Thank you.
Ms. Savallero?
And again, I really agree, but also we need help from the community. So we don't do this by ourselves. The district do everything. That's why we partner up with the pastors associations, the nonprofits like Family Impact, the Guatemala Mayan Center, depending on the different districts. We gather and tell them what we have, right? And they can be our voice, because the district, I can't see the district going everywhere to try to, advertise about, how awesome we are. We do our part, but then our part is also to reach out to all of the agencies and nonprofits and all the associations that we can, like we did recently with the Pastors Association. and there's fear in the community, right? So the last thing in their mind is taking their kids to school when they think they're going to be stopped. And it's a cruel and awful reality, but just to focus on this part, I think that, and I always say, you know, I want to be part of the solution. So at least in my district, I know what communities and what agencies do what. And that's how if every district did a little bit of that, right, we can go to them and they can be the advocates for us. And give them the tools, and because people don't know, like you said, you know, don't know what they don't know. That's definitely true. But then that's where we need our partners to help us cross that bridge, so we can be stronger together. And you know, I think we do a great job, but we definitely need to get those agencies closer to us with the message. And if we have a new message, we pick up the phone or we get them at the table. So. I want to be part of that solution, Ms. Bishop. So whatever I can do for District 2 on your end, I'm here to make sure that it happens, at least on my end. Thank you.
I'm going to call the question. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Ms. Brill, may I would like to go back to FC5. I've reconsidered my vote on that one, and I'm wondering if we can bring it back up so that I can change my vote.
So why don't we wait until we get to just the bottom of the new business, and we'll bring it back.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that'll take us to P2. I recommend the board approve the personnel addendum as submitted.
Motion by Ms. Whitfield, second by Ms. Branch. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right, RAGN1. I recommend the school board approve the $25,000 donation from the city of Riviera Beach to the Ram Regiment Band, specifically designated to cover trip costs for Riviera Beach resident students performing in the London New Year's Day Parade.
Motion by Ms. Andrews, second by Ms. Whitfield. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Mr.
I'll pull this,
Ferguson.
so there's discussion. I just want to recognize Mayor Lawson of Riviera Beach. I think he's done a great job in a short period of time of being an advocate for public education. And I appreciate him and his commission, his council, being willing to give this generous donation toward Palm Beach Lakes. It's my understanding that they're well on their way to, I believe they need to raise somewhere around $450,000 or $460K, $460,000. They've raised a fair amount of that, and I definitely appreciate the city of Riviera Beach, which has a fairly small number of residents who attend Palm Beach Lakes, still seeing it fit to support this worthwhile endeavor to allow children to see things outside their normal every day. So I appreciate Mayor Lawson of Riviera Beach and the City Council for this effort. And we have some other business with them that's coming down the pipes. I won't get into specifically, but yeah, I appreciate if he's going to put 25 down on this, then yeah, I'm going to
Any further
give him a
discussion?
banner
Sorry.
in the future when he does what he really should do. But I definitely support this. Great job.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right, that'll take us to policy IG1. I recommend the board approve the adoption of proposed revised policy 1.091 audit committee.
Motion by Ms. Whitfield, second by Vice Chair Lane. Okay, I understand, Ms. Branch, you pulled it?
I did. I pulled it for two reasons. As I've stated at our previous board meetings, I don't believe that the OIG should have evaluative powers over security. And second, I do not believe that the OIG should evaluate the adequacy and effectiveness of controls encompassing the district's governance. I believe that's left to the voters. The opinion rendered by the OIG's office at the last audit committee meeting cited ChatGPT as kind of a authority comparison to evaluate powers over security. And if you look it up, it's asked if it's a reliable source. It says no, ChatGPT is not considered a valid or authoritative source for factual information. There's a whole bunch of other reasons. A couple are cannot cite sources. It cannot provide links or citations to specific original sources, making it impossible to cross-reference or verify the information it provides. No factual grounding. It does not know or understand information in a human sense. It recognizes patterns in speech and context. Confidence in its tone does not equate correctness. Potential bias. The responses may reflect biases present in its vast training data. And the last one, not for critical decisions. It is not a substitute for human expertise in critical areas such as legal, medical, or financial advice where accuracy is paramount. So for this reason, I cannot vote for the policy. Thank you.
Mr. Ferguson?
Board Member Branch, point me to the lines in the proposed policy that you...
164, I believe it is.
Okay. 1 second, Madam Chair. Help me get to the point where the point you were making about AI.
It says OIG obtains and reviews such additional information as deemed necessary. It says to evaluate the adequacy and effectiveness of controls encompassing the district's governance, operations, security is added in, and information technology systems, including their reliability and integrity of operational and related financial information and safeguarding assets.
And I'm sorry, I thought I heard you mention something about AI. I'm sorry. Did I?
At the last audit committee last month, because I talked about it last month that I didn't agree with security. The Inspector General brought up that she wanted to make sure she was comparing everything right, so she looked up ChatGPT, saying, oh, ChatGPT said, yes, you're doing it right. But when you look up ChatGPT, it actually says that's not really an authoritative source for the factual information, especially when it comes to legal, security, et cetera.
Thank you, Board Member Branch. Madam Chair, question for IG. Before I make my vote, what's your response to this?
All right, the information that was presented on the ChatGPT cited the IG policy, it cited the Association of Inspector General Green Book, it cited the Department of Education's statutes on safety and security. It cited the, I believe it was also the Yellow Book standards for the audits. So there were references in there. And the IGs look at the controls related to safety and security. We just recently did an audit where one of the elements was that we had some vendors who are not adequately screened, had not passed the level 2 screening, who were providing transportation services. Had we not done that audit, because it was considered part of safety and security, we would have never found that. We do cybersecurity, we do all kinds of different, we just are looking to see compliance with established governing directives. If we cite that the issue that we find that somebody's not complying with the directive, it's up to the board or the district if they want to take any action on it. There's many times that people say, okay, we understand what you're saying, but we disagree. And all we're doing is citing whether or not we see if people are complying with what the laws and rules are.
I may be misunderstanding Board Member Branch's point, but what I thought I heard her primary concern was the fact that you would solely be relying on AI. So if ChatGPT tells you that everything's copacetic, you're going to say, well, oh, great, ChatGPT says everything's copacetic, everything must be copacetic. And if Board Member Branch, correct me if I did not encapsulate what you said, but I thought that was what your apprehension was. So to that point.
Yes, the whole reference, it shows, it said, that according to the Florida Department of Education, and it provided the link. It provided the link for the Association of Inspector General, which I've also provided this information as well. I was trying to provide some reassurance from a completely independent type of a source. But all of the references, both between the Association of Inspector General, you have the Florida Department of Education Office of Inspector General, who looks at safety and security. You have the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Office of Inspector General, who looks at safety and security. When I was with the Department of Juvenile Justice, I looked at safety and security because part of their IG's office. I have never seen an IG's office not look at safety and security for compliance.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Vice Chair Lane?
Yeah, Madam Chair, may I ask a question to Board Member Branch?
Yes. Oh.
Yes. Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
How would you like us to change this policy? What language would you like us to add or delete?
I just don't understand the security part. I know in the last committee meeting, they were talking about the vendors, and Mr. High kind of pulled that out of his pocket and said, see, this is why we need security. But when I asked last board meeting about security, nobody kind of had an answer for me. I think it's kind of a, you can answer, hold on, I'll let you answer. It's kind of a stay in your lane kind of thing. We have a police department. We have our very own police department. And if we rely on ChatGPT for everything, why do we need an OIG? I mean, we can't, and it specifically says, you know, ChatGPT is not considered a valid source. So that's my concern. How many other school districts have an OIG? Do you know?
School
How many other
districts
school districts
nationwide.
in Florida?
I believe we are the only internal IG. We have Miami-Dade County, which has a shared internal-external relationship through an interlocal agreement. Same with Broward County, I believe. I hope I'm not misspeaking, but that pretty much covers it for the state of Florida. It's sort of a progressive thing. We were the first to do it, and I believe you'll see other large, big districts following. But to that point, if I could just clarify something
Yeah, go
really
ahead.
quickly. I take a little bit of umbrage with you saying I pulled something out when I couldn't answer your question at the last, I believe it was the development read. That audit was one that still hadn't been published. It was confidential. I had to be very careful when I was answering your questions. I referenced school bus security, which is one of the many security items we look at. But I believe that where there's some confusion here, and I hope that what you understand, is the addition of security to the audit committee policies to ensure that our office gets the support it needs. If you want sources, I actually went through just, again, if we had talked before tonight, I could have addressed this directly. There's 53 total references in our policies using the term security. And there's a lot of different examples of security, and as I'm sure the teachers and everyone here who's sitting behind me knows, it's a shared responsibility. So whether we're talking about background screening security, we're talking about vendors who are driving our most precious students who are emotionally, developmentally disabled, security isn't limited only to the physical plant. We have IT security. We even have had investigations, again, in the past that relate to testing security. So utilization of the term security here is not a matter of us getting outside of our lane or doing anything that is atypical. If you look and research what other school districts have done nationwide, I've pulled up a list of times that security has been addressed just in the past 2 years. They are, again, it's not limited just to physical plant security. It relates to all different types. We have governance security. We have personnel screening risks. We have gun violence. So there's a number of different reasons. That was why that word was used. That's why we've done this. We conduct door checks. We do all sorts of issues involving security. And I do wish I could have answered that question at our last development read, but I couldn't till audit committee.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I want to be clear that security is my number one. We have a great police chief. We have our own, police department. Security, like, if it was that important, why wouldn't it already be here?
I'm going to answer that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because I would say since the establishment of this office in 2012, the changes in security, whether it be technology related, whether it be testing related, whether it be transportation related, whether it be what happened down in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, the whole landscape has changed. And just like you have a fantastic police department, I'm biased, but I believe you have a fantastic inspector general and we work together.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree with Board Member Ferguson regarding not using ChatGPT.
Never, and I hope that's clear. I believe
that's the impression I got.
I didn't present that. I'm sorry.
I know you did. No, I know you didn't. But at the audit committee meeting, I was kind of like, why did you ask this? Why are you bringing this up? Why do you disagree? And I'm
Excuse me, Ms. Branch, ChatGPT's not in the policy, so we have to redirect it back.
they were using ChatGPT to compare.
Right, but it's not, the item is to adopt the policy.
you're
So
right.
my understanding is that tonight we have to adopt the policy. We need a policy in place. However, if you want to bring it back for further discussion, you can bring it back as a discussion item later on. But at this point now, if you're not in agreement, obviously
Yeah, I
anyone
agree.
not in
And I
agreement
appreciate you
can
very
vote
much
against
for
it.
explaining.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
So, any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-1 with Ms. Branch in opposition. So at this point now, Ms. Whitfield, I'm going to ask you to make a motion, please, to bring back that item. So make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to reconsider FC 5, interlocal agreement with the Village of Wellington for traffic signal installation funding.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Whitfield, second by Mr. Lane.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Superintendent. Oh, okay, so we have to vote on your motion. Sorry, I'm moving it too quickly. So all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Superintendent, let's return to that item.
FC5, I recommend approval of the interlocal agreement between the Village of Wellington and School Board for traffic signal installation at the intersection of Lake Worth Road and Isleview Drive as it relates to Polo Park Middle School, and authorize the chair and superintendent to sign all necessary documents.
So we need a new motion. Motion by Ms. Whitfield, second by Ms. Branch. Ms. Whitfield.
Thank you. So I just wanted to bring this back up because I think Mr. Ferguson had a very good point with this. The concern that I have is around the designation of who funds what. And so it took me a minute, and I apologize for looking through after his comments. But I think when we're looking at this, in my mind, it's the land that is the deciding factor, and so this is not on our land. And so to me, I don't know that the school district should be funding something that is not on our property. So I would personally like more information on this, on how we are creating these interlocal agreements, because it is quite a bit of money, and as he brought up, so 232,000. Thank you, Ms. Saviero. So quite a bit of money that we are contributing to this project. Obviously, I believe in safety and security, but I think it should be equitably distributed. And so on that issue, I'd like to change my vote to no. Thank you.
Ms. Andrews?
And I'd like to refer to the superintendent to talk a little bit about why we are partnering together and what the difference this has made for safety.
All right, I'm going to ask Mr. Joseph Sanchez, our Chief Operating Officer, to share his thoughts, and he was much closer to this work.
Yeah, Joseph Sanchez, Chief Operating Officer. I just find it interesting that, we get beat up for not doing enough for traffic, and then sometimes we get beat up for doing stuff for traffic, right? So sometimes we feel like we're in a no-win situation. But this is a situation where the school is, it is causing some impact because we have a lot of traffic at that school. It was pretty bad before. The traffic signal is now was installed over the summer, and things are much better. I was out there myself working, talking to the crossing guards, and it's much better. I talked to the principal about a year or so ago about the situation, and she was basically begging me to try to do something to try to improve the situation. Mrs. Andrews used to be the principal out there one time, I remember. It was a very difficult situation, but to specifically address the question that Mrs. Whitfield asked about when we make decisions to contribute to this, it's not always on our property. We always, when we have traffic engineers that look at the impact of our schools around the community, and sometimes it's down the block and sometimes it's right on the property. But we work with our traffic task force, we work with the county and law enforcement. They come up with various recommendations, and it makes sense in this case to share the cost with the Village of Wellington. Because it wasn't all of our impact, as Mr. Burke said previously. And it's a tremendous benefit to the school. So whenever we can benefit the school, and whenever we have an opportunity to not just eat all the costs ourselves, but to share it with others, I think it makes sense. I mean, we have traffic. I mean, everybody in here knows that we have traffic problems throughout the county, and sometimes the solutions are on our campus. Changing the bus loop or changing the car loop or changing things like that. And sometimes the solution is off the campus, and this happens to be a case where the solution is off the campus.
Mr. Ferguson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Question through the superintendent to COO Sanchez. If you know the answer, I'm asking for it. If you don't, I understand. But if you had to approximate what it would cost to lay down a bike lane, what do you estimate that cost would be for whoever is paying the cost?
It totally depends on the situation. Totally depends on the situation. If you're referring to the situation at Woodlands Middle School, the situation is very difficult there because there's a bridge right there, and the bridge would have to be expanded. So simply changing that bike lane, and again, this is a bike lane that's on the road, not a bike lane that's part of the sidewalk. Totally different. We don't encourage students to ever ride in a bike lane that's on the road. But if we wanted to work with the county to widen that sidewalk to make it, I think it's currently 4-foot sidewalk, you would have to expand the bridge. That would be hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe, you know, it could be $1 million, I don't know, because the bridge is right there. It's not just adding 2 feet to the sidewalk.
So, and obviously I'm not holding you to this, but I'm just trying to get understanding. So you say on the high end, it could be several hundred thousands of dollars up to maybe even a 7-figure fee, but that's for the total construction cost, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so I was confused, and I was supportive of voting for this, but now that Board Member Whitfield has brought it back and couched it the way she's couched it, I do wonder why we're paying 50% of it, because I can't imagine that pro rata we have a 50% or greater benefit. I mean, when school is out of session or at certain times of the day, we don't have buses or families reasonably using that traffic signal, so why are we paying such a large portion of it in that regard?
It is not a subjective evaluation. There are what's called traffic warrants, and it determines what things contribute towards the traffic in that community. And so the warrant, that assessment, the engineering assessment, is what determines the extent of contribution the school makes towards that traffic situation. In this case, it determined that we are representing about 50% of the cost, of 50% of the impact. So again, this is not something that we pull out of thin air.
I never thought that you did pull it out of thin air, but anytime I have a question, I'm going to ask, and I appreciate you giving me a candid response to that. I want to move on, but Superintendent Burke, the youth that were injured in at the other school, that is a concern for me, and I'm wondering if at a later date maybe we can look into that to figure out if there are some things that we can do. Obviously, we don't have a limited amount of funds. That's part of the reason why so many people are here tonight to speak on that. But I would like us to kind of look into that at some point, just not tonight. And I appreciate your candor, Mr. Sanchez.
Ms. Whitfield?
Thank you. I just wanted to reiterate that I believe that this is a warranted light. My concern is only in the who should pay for it. And so I'm glad that there is going to be a light, but I do not want to vote for it because I believe that this is not, there are many, many places with traffic and issues within our county. I've come and complained about a ton of them within our schools, issues of lining up, issues of just congestion around the time, things that we could do. And I wonder where it ends when we fund at this level. And we are at a very limited budget. And so when we are in such a limited budget time, should we be putting our limited funds towards things that could potentially come from another pot of money? Thank you.
Ms. Andrews?
I'm certainly going to support this, and I appreciate the partnership that we have with the Village of Wellington and the School District of Palm Beach County. I used to be the principal out there. I know about the traffic. Any child that's injured or killed on our property or right in the vicinity, we have to collaborate and communicate with our partners. The Sheriff's Office works closely with us as we look at all of the different situations, and every situation is different. And I'm just thrilled to see if we can vote for this, because if it's going to save somebody's life or keep someone from being injured, that we are actually pulling our weight. And I mean, I think the Village of Wellington has always proven itself with the School District of Palm Beach County by putting their money where their mouths are for our children each and every day. And this is a safety issue that we're talking about. So I'm happy that we have this partnership with them, where it could be the next time around that they may be paying a little bit more than we're paying, but we have the partnership together to keep our children safe. So I'm supporting this.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-1 with Ms. Whitfield in opposition. That's now going to bring us now to our non-agenda speakers. On behalf of the entire school board, I would like to welcome any public speakers who are joining us today. The board recognizes the right of the public to express their opinions. However, our policy provides that we do not respond to or engage with our speakers. We do make note of your issues, and we follow up with the district administration regarding them. All non-agenda speakers' comments must relate to educationally relevant topics or the operations of the school district. Pursuant to school board policy, speakers whose comments do not relate to the topic that the speaker indicated or are not otherwise educationally relevant as required for non-agenda topics, or whose comments disrupt or interfere with the order of the meeting may be subject to having the microphone turned off, forfeiting the right to speak at the remainder of today's meeting, or after warnings, removal from the meeting. We understand that all of you here tonight are passionate and want to be heard. We ask all participants to engage in respectful dialogue, maintaining civility and decorum. Please allow us to hear each of the speakers because we really do want to hear from all of you. So I'm going to be calling you two at a time. I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations of your names. So I'm going to start off now with Carl Muhammad and Milka Santos. Please come up to the microphones.
Carl Muhammad. I wanted to start tonight by saying last month I told you that I wanted to identify the two different coalitions for Black student achievement. And tonight I brought everybody the information of the relationship between the coalition and the Black student achievement and who and how it came into existence, plus a lot of the world class movements that we made as a district and as a community working together. And one of the things that I do always like to mention is the fact that I never hear anything specifically specifying the needs of the American blacks, as we know that the Florida Statute 1003.428 is a Florida law that is not being instituted properly. And I'm glad tonight we have our teachers here because we still haven't been able to surface with any of the teachers that have the comprehensive knowledge of how to address our children in a proper way. And we used to have a relationship with the Classroom Teachers Association, but some kind of way that kind of relationship has been dissolved. And with this paperwork, I'm even leaving a copy for the Inspector General and for our attorney as well, because we need everybody's involvement as we propel ourselves to try to make an attempt to go forward. Now, next month, we're going to go into Kwanzaa, and it's an excellent opportunity time for those inside of Palm Beach County and around the world to really focus on possibly repairing some of the damages that's been done that we know of. And we know that Florida Statute 1003.428, it stipulates that it's supposed to be infused in all grade levels and all subject matter. And I'm sure no one knows what that looked like. But I do appreciate Palm Beach County School Board and our community for taking on such a challenge. And we do have some real substantive things that we've accomplished as a team. And I'm hoping that we don't pull back. And hopefully next month you'll be able to identify a teacher, a classroom, a student that has been imbued with the spirit of the Florida statute. We haven't been able to find out where this kind of information is being disseminated, and it's very, well, to the African-American community, this is the most important reality for us as a people, because this law provides us with the correcting of the miseducation of our children by omitting the knowledge of them inside of their educational experience. And I'm hoping that as you go out for the Thanksgiving holidays, that you will bring some of that kind of good family spirit back for next month as we prepare ourselves for Christmas and Kwanzaa. And I want to thank you for your time. And congratulations, Mr. Lane, on your move. And I'm looking forward to really having some kind of real relationship, because when you communicate with people, you can build relationships. And our community is in desperate need of that kind of relationship, because you see we never mentioned inside the conversation. Thank you all, and you have a blessed Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Before you begin, Ms. Santos, I just want to remind everyone that you do have 3 minutes to address the board. And in accordance with the school board policy, the microphone will be turned off when the time limit has been reached. And when you come up to the microphone, for those of you who don't usually come here, please state your name for the record. And we thank you again for joining us. Ms. Santos.
Milka Santos with the American Association of Caregiving Youth. Good evening, Superintendent Burke and members of the school board. My name is Milka Santos, and I serve as the community educator for the American Association of Caregiving Youth. I am honored to inform you that last week, Palm Beach County made the news on Capitol Hill. A bipartisan resolution was announced honoring caregiving youth in the United States. Congresswomen Elvira Salazar and Lois Frankel introduced a resolution recognizing November 10th through the 16th as National Caregiving Youth Week, in honor of the contributions and commitment of children and adolescents under the age of 18. These students serve as primary or secondary caregivers for a loved one who has a chronic illness, disability, frailty, or other health conditions requiring regular assistance. It is estimated that there are more than 6 million caregiving youth nationwide. And in Florida, there are more than 290,000 student caregivers in public, middle, and high schools. These are children who would be highly likely to drop out of school were it not for the intervention of organized assistance. This resolution spotlights Palm Beach County's Dr. Connie Siskowski and the American Association of Caregiving Youth. Congratulations to our organization and all of the district and school staff who support nearly 700 student caregivers, with many more to reach. The resolution supports the designation of Caregiving Youth Week, recognizes caregiving youth in the United States as an underserved, underrecognized population, encourages educators, policymakers, healthcare professionals, and others to become more familiar with the work, needs, and contributions of caregiving youth, and supports federal initiatives to provide up-to-date nationwide research on caregiving youth. We are so grateful at AACY to the Palm Beach County School District for being our partner. We appreciate your leadership, which allows these 700 student caregivers to survive and thrive. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you. Alicia Carr and Michelle Buckle. Please come up to the microphones.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board, Superintendent Burke, and district leadership. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Alicia Carr, and I am a teacher in this county and also a former student. It was because of dedicated teachers who love their job that encouraged me to be a teacher. I believe deeply in our mission of our schools and in serving our students. I want to discuss tonight about how, though I work not 2, but 3 jobs, while also being a single mom, I still can't make ends meet. I live in income-based housing, and yet my paycheck still does not stretch enough to cover the rent, and I know I'm not alone. Many of us who dedicate ourselves to educating the children of this community are forced into multiple jobs just to survive. But love for one's job does not put food on the table, and it does not close the gap between paycheck and rent, and it doesn't pay for the basic cost of living in Palm Beach County. I want to bring to focus the real gap between our pay and what affordable housing costs here. The Palm Beach County Workforce Housing Program is meant to help. Its 2-bedroom rent for teachers falls between $1,578 and $2,104 a month for the lower income tier. But even with a salary at $60,000 per year, which comes roughly to $5,000 a month before taxes, the low end of that housing cost still eats up 30% of my gross income. And the higher end pushes well beyond the affordability line. And that's before taxes, utilities, groceries, insurance, and every other cost of living in this county. That's why many of us are working extra jobs, sharing living spaces, or making real sacrifices, because we can't comfortably afford to live in the very county that we serve and teach. This is more than a personal hardship. It's a systemic issue when teachers and school staff have to spend time moonlighting just to afford housing. That drains our capacity to serve students, and it undermines morale and retention. It undermines our ability to fully dedicate ourselves as roles as educators. I'm asking you tonight to please, please make teacher and staff compensation a top priority. As you consider raises and budget priorities, please remember this housing piece. It's not just their compensation, it's about making life here sustainable for the people educating our children. Thank you so much.
Michelle Buckle. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Burke. My name is Michelle Buckle, and I'm a teacher at the best school in the world, Jupiter Elementary. I'm a proud graduate of Palm Beach County Schools, K through 12, and now I have the privilege of teaching in the same district where I grew up. I love what I do. I love my students and the community that I serve. But tonight, I want to express my deep disappointment in the way our district is handling teacher contract negotiations. During this process, the district stated that it came back to the board not once, but twice per CTA's request, and there was still no movement toward a compromise. The proposed 1.5% raise is not just inadequate, it's disheartening. It sends a message that teachers' dedication, time, and expertise are not being valued. I live 2 counties away in Port St. Lucie to afford a home. That should say something about the disconnect between the cost of living and teacher compensation in the district. Beyond pay, what's equally discouraging is the refusal to agree to simple, no-cost measures that would make a genuine difference in our work and well-being. Allowing the day after winter break to be a teacher workday would give teachers time to reset classrooms and prepare meaningful instruction so students can return to an environment that is focused and ready for learning. Likewise, protecting preschool classroom setup days rather than filling that time with meetings would ensure teachers can start the year prepared, energized, and fully focused on students. These are not extravagant asks. They are reasonable, practical, and entirely achievable. They show respect for teachers' time and professional judgment. As someone who has been a part of this district my whole life and has chosen to stay and give back, I'm asking you to show us the same level of commitment in return. Investing in teachers is investing in students. To close, I'd like to quote Mr. Burke from last month's board meeting. He said, quote, "We all know that the greatest, most important variable in the classroom is the teacher. That's what has the biggest impact on student success," end quote. And I couldn't agree more. So my plea is that you reconsider your priorities and demonstrate through your actions, not just your words, that you value the people doing the work that keeps this district running every single day. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen Crew and Dr. Eric Jorgensen. Stephen Crew and Dr. Eric Jorgensen. If you're here, please come up to the microphone. Is there anybody coming up? Okay, well, that's going to go to Daisy Daniel and Diana Karras.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Daisy Daniel. According to Philip Jackson, author of the book Life in Classrooms, teachers make around 1,500 executive decisions with students every day and more minute-by-minute decisions than even surgeons. There is no doubt that the teaching profession is highly stressful. Teachers face a myriad of issues on a daily basis while trying to successfully run a classroom with many students. So if their job is so difficult, why is there such a big disparity in salaries given to teachers versus other positions and professions? The teacher starting salary in Florida is $50,000 per year, requiring a 4-year degree. A surgeon starting salary in Florida is $347,000. Requiring 8 years of college and 5 years of paid residency. A rookie NFL player playing football has a starting salary in all states of $840,000. And get this, a college education is not even required. 53, 347, 840. Let that sink in for a minute. All of the people earning these types of salaries learned how to read because of teachers. Surgeons could not have become surgeons without teachers. Many people chose professions and did the impossible with their lives because of teachers. In other words, teachers make forever imprints in the hearts of students and help guide them throughout their lives. What is that worth? In 2024, 921, almost 1,000 teachers in Palm Beach County made the executive decision to leave their teaching profession. As of today, there are 233 teaching vacancies on the district portal. We need to start prioritizing and valuing teachers or they will seek divorce. If you want to keep your teachers, respect them, and pay them what they deserve, give them the 5% raise that the CTA is asking for instead of the embarrassing 1.5 raise that has been offered by the district. I think students have a better idea. Raise it to 6, 7.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Dr. Diana Karras, and I'm a 20-year veteran in the school district of Palm Beach County. Tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of 120 teachers who want to be completely open and transparent with this board and with Superintendent Burke about why a 1% raise is not enough. Not enough for them, not enough for their families, and certainly not enough for their survival. Let me tell you what teachers are living through right now. One 30-year veteran teacher is skipping doctor appointments and stretching her medications. She works 3 jobs. She eats twice a day. She prays her truck doesn't break down because she can't afford repairs. She can't afford her own child's cap and gown, yearbook, class ring, or even a single college tour this year. Other teachers are working 4 jobs outside the classroom. That's right, 4 jobs. Just to make ends meet. Some are borrowing money from their children. Some are going into debt simply to pay their bills. One teacher told me she hasn't taken a vacation in a decade. She shops only at thrift stores, uses coupons for everything, and avoids necessary medical appointments because she can't cover the copays. And she's not alone. Many teachers in this district are skipping medical and dental care, not because they want to, but because they cannot afford to stay healthy. Teachers are moving in with family members to survive. Others commute from Port St. Lucie because they've been priced out of Palm Beach County. Every month, teachers are forced to choose between paying the mortgage, the electric bill, the water bill, or buying groceries. They cannot afford to buy a home. They cannot afford to rent a home. Some have stopped paying their mortgage altogether because they have 0 savings left. They're choosing between keeping the lights on and feeding their own children. Daycare is unaffordable, home repairs are impossible, Thanksgiving plans are uncertain, holiday gifts feel out of reach, teachers are living with constant overdraft notices, mounting credit card debt, rising medical costs, and fear. Fear that their car will break down, fear that one emergency will push them into homelessness. And yes, some teachers say that without help from extended family members, they would be homeless. This is where we are. So the question teachers are asking is simple. Why aren't you helping? Why aren't you extending a hand in the educators who are drowning? Why aren't you extending a hand to the teachers who are exhausted, overwhelmed, and doing everything they can to survive? Will you help the people who make your A rating possible? Who supports your evaluations? Who helps justify your raises? Because right now, they don't feel helped, they don't feel valued, and they don't feel seen. One teacher said it best, being a teacher in Palm Beach County isn't living, it's surviving.
Thank you. Jody Moschel and Gilda Morgan Williams. Jody Moschel and Gilda Morgan Williams, please come up to the microphones. Thank you.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Burke. My name is Jody Moschel. In 2010, I moved to Florida with my fiance to open a business together. We had hoped to build and run it side by side, but the reality was that living on business profits alone wasn't sustainable. I made the decision to return to education. The first shock was the pay cut. I'd been earning over $80,000 in New Jersey, but despite my 16 years of experience, my starting salary in Florida was only $45,000. I was told the cost of living here would make up for it, but the truth is, it wasn't all that different. At the time, my 2 children were attending middle and high school in Broward, and I worked there my first year in an elementary school as an elementary school teacher. But after being accessed, I found a school counseling job in Belle Glade at Glade Central High School, and between the business income and my salary, we managed, just barely. Raising kids is expensive. We had to make sacrifices. Then in 2014, my fiance was diagnosed with bile duct cancer. My daughter had just left for college, and my son was a junior in high school. Just 4 months later, on September 10th, he passed away. Suddenly, I was a single mother with a child in college and another preparing for it. I was grieving deeply, and at the same time, I was struggling financially. I managed to stay in my home for 2 years until my son graduated and left for college, but my credit card debt kept rising. I took out a home equity loan, but I knew I was only delaying the inevitable. So eventually I made the painful decision to rent my home to another family, and I rented a room in a neighbor's home. It was humbling, honestly humiliating, to not be able to afford to live in my own home despite holding a master's degree and working full-time. But it allowed me to start to pay down my debt and support my children's college expenses. Becoming a roommate for the first time since college was not easy, but financially it was the right choice. And I'll be honest, it would never have been necessary if Florida's teacher pay resembled that of New Jersey or New York or Connecticut or California or so many other states. Fortunately, in 2019, I entered a new relationship, became engaged again, and I no longer needed to rent a room just to stay afloat. And now we are being offered a raise that does not keep up with inflation, and that means every year our buying power decreases. I want to retire with dignity one day. My pension depends on my salary increasing over time. I want you to understand that even with the referendum, our wages are not enough for a single person to live in this county. Most of my colleagues aren't here tonight because they're at their second and third jobs when I ask them to join me. I work 3 jobs myself. I'm a school counselor, I'm a cross-country coach.
Thank you.
Excuse me, that was touching. Good evening, Superintendent Burke and esteemed school board members. My name is Gilda Morgan Williams, and I proudly serve as a pre-kindergarten speech-language diagnostician for the North 2 Pre-K diagnostic team, as well as the CTA Vice President. I have had the honor of serving the students and families of Palm Beach County for almost 39 years. My journey in this district began with Mrs. Andrews under the leadership of Mr. Calvin Taylor and with Superintendent Tom Mills at the helm, recruited me to join Palm Beach County Schools. I believe so deeply in the mission and the promise of the district that I convinced my younger sister, Yvette Morgan Bullard, to relocate from Sarasota County. With the help of Mrs. Andrews and Mr. Taylor, she made Palm Beach County her home and is currently serving as a teacher at Trade Winds Middle School. I built my family here. My husband relocated from Louisiana, and together we raised our daughter right here in our public schools from kindergarten through 12th grade. Westwood Elementary, Roosevelt Elementary, Bach Middle School of the Arts, Park Vista High School. Each one of those schools poured into her, shaped her, and inspired her. And I stand here today as a proud mother of attorney Imani Williams, a successful personal injury lawyer. Thanks for those amazing teachers at each of those schools. There is a saying from a great book, to whom much is given, much is required. And Palm Beach County, A-rated school district, you have been given much. You have been given highly qualified, deeply committed educators who show up every day, ready to teach every child, regardless of race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and zip codes. We show up prepared. We show up with passion. We show up because we believe in the promise of public education. But we cannot continue that uphold promise if we are not protected, valued, and invested in. Superintendent Burke and board members, that investment begins with paying our teachers. You stand at risk. Our district stands at risk if we are not paid. We will continue to lose remarkable young educators who simply cannot afford to live in this county. Our A-rated rating will be at risk. Graduation rates will suffer. And most of all, we will not be able to attract the brightest and the best teachers here to educate our children. So with that, much given, much required. We have given this district our dedication, our loyalty, our expertise, and in many cases, our lives' work. Now we ask you to honor commitment. Pay us our worth, because we are more than that. Thank you.
Thank you. Shakita Carter and Michael Woods. Shakita Carter and Michael Woods.
Good evening to the board and Superintendent Burke. My name is Shakita Carter, and I'm here to speak about the vast difference in pay that teachers receive here in Palm Beach County and the need for a salary increase and a 5% raise this year. Teachers are professional employees. We are expected to know our content, manage classes, and do lesson plans. We are expected to be respectful to our students, our parents, and all stakeholders. We are expected to communicate effectively. We are expected to have a professional appearance. We are expected to take care of our students and stay calm in many situations that arise at our school, from school shootings, deaths, fights, illness, and the list goes on. We are accountable for student performance and are required to meet the expectation. As teachers, we do all of this and more. We are professional, and so in return, we should have professional pay and professional raises that match the level of performance that is required from us. Most of you have been in a classroom, but I challenge you to work one full week in any school that's represented here tonight, and I promise you, you will run to sign for the pay increase. But here are some facts. According to CBS 12 News, Florida ranks very low in teacher pay. The NEA places Florida second to last in average teacher salary. An estimated 60% of teachers take on a second job to survive and meet the cost of living. Yes, I do have a second job. Juggling teaching with other jobs leads to burnout, which can negatively affect both teachers and the well-being and instructional quality. I know from personal experience in teachers that are feeling the burnout and becoming very ill, terminally and sometimes, some cases leading to death. I don't know a lot of engineers that work a second job. I don't know a lot of lawyers that work a second job. I don't know a lot of nurses that work a second job. I don't know a lot of firemen that work a second job. I don't know a lot of police officers that work a second job. And these are all essential employees. It's essential people in the workforce. Teachers are just the same. We are essential and professional, yet we are not being compensated on a professional level. I am requesting that the school board award teachers 5% salary raise this year because the current 1% is truly an insult for the work that we do, the lives that we touch, and the world that we impact. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Woods. I'm a teacher at one of your largest comprehensive high schools, Santa Lucia's High School. Hey, Miss Brill. As a former student and current teacher and a Dwyer Award for Excellence in Education winner with 33 years plus in the classroom, I am here to speak about the need for respectful and adequate raises. As many of us have recognized and felt the ability to afford everyday bills, try to make some chili for the weekend, have become almost unaffordable. Well, they are unaffordable. Daily bills and expenses, as well as housing, has become more difficult, if not downright impossible. We find that many of our educators must live in adjacent counties and spend many hours going to and from their schools and homes. I have personally witnessed many outstanding educators leave the profession. Altogether, due to daily stress, financial strain, and the need to work multiple jobs. I worked multiple jobs for 20 years. I gave it up because I am too old to be working until 9:30 at night. I was your ESOL coordinator at Lantana Middle. My colleagues live as roommates in order to make ends meet. These certified education professionals deserve better. Why isn't one of our most affluent counties not doing its best to attract the best educators? I had amazing teachers in this county. Melaleuca Elementary, Coniston Middle School, John A. Leonard High School, go Lancers. Our students deserve the same. As a person in my drop or retirement era, Taylor Swift, it has become clear to me that I must not only advocate for myself, but for all educators, especially our younger educators who often feel voiceless and afraid to speak. I am in my golden era. I look forward to having highly educated and technically trained former students to help me in the doctor's office, to fix my air conditioning, to be my doctors and nurses. I want to know the difference between milligrams and grams, and that will only happen if we have the inspiration and training of quality educators. As a clinically educated, trained teacher who has interns with one who left this state because she could not afford to live here. She could not afford to be here. She did not feel respected. She was my former student, then she became my intern from FAU. We poured a lot of time and money into her. She's gone. and she's probably one of the best teachers I have ever trained. So please do what's right. I'm retiring, and quite honestly, I entered drop because I knew we were not going to get raises, and I never wanted to drop, but I have to do what's right for me, and you have to do what's right for us.
Thank you. Donald Pearson and Andy Goldstein. Donald Pearson and Andy Goldstein, please come up. It's all yours, Andy.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Andy Goldstein. I've been a teacher for the past 25 years at Omni Middle School, and I'm the proud parent of a daughter who is now a senior at one of our public high schools. I'm also a CTA rep, but tonight I'm speaking as an individual. I became a teacher because I was grateful for the education I received, and I wanted to give back to our community. I wanted to make a difference in the lives of kids. I'm here to talk about the abysmal and, frankly, disgusting offer of a meager 1.5% salary increment by the school district for our teachers. The offer is not respectful of our profession. I recently reread the mission of the Palm Beach County School District. The mission of the Palm Beach County School District is to educate, affirm, and inspire each student in an equity-embedded school system. Beautiful. We used to have, as part of our mission statement, the commitment to providing a world-class education that empowers each student to reach their highest potential. A world-class education, wow. That's a beautiful mission statement. It resounds with, yes, we can. And from our core beliefs, investing in our employees is an investment in their ability to serve our students. And nice. But what do we hear from our school district when it comes to paying our teachers a decent salary increment so that we can live and grow and raise a family? We hear the resounding cry, no, we can't. As a school district, we're creating a legacy of we can't. We're the school district of Palm Beach County, and we can't. What will be our legacy? How will we be remembered? How will we be remembered? Respectfully, Superintendent Burke and school board members, please figure out a way to support our teachers so that we can get to yes, we can. The world is watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Julia Moore and Shari Perlowitz. Julia Moore and oops, I see Don Pearson. You're here. Okay, so Don, you're first.
Oh, okay, thank you. Don Pearson, 44 years in Palm Beach County. I'm going to change it up just a little bit and talk about money that is already established that I'm wondering what's going on. Really, coaches asked me to do this. I'm the assigner for wrestling officials for the wrestling coaches. And we had a meeting last week, and they're wondering what's going on with supplements. And I said I would do that, talk to you about that. Here's what they're saying. There's girls wrestling now, which is really nice, and there's supplements for it. But some of the coaches are saying, their ADs are saying there's no supplements. We know how many supplements there are. And ADs are saying that they're told, I don't know if this is true, and I hope not, they're saying, we're told if you don't have enough female wrestlers that we can't give you a supplement. That's an individual sport. I don't think you would do that to individual students. So coaches leave, and then programs like Palm Beach Central High School had a great wrestling program. This is the second year they don't have one because, quite frankly, some ADs don't want it. So the question the coaches are asking is, why are the money that's already established not being given? One coach said, I was asked in the middle of a season to please come back and coach, we need you. And he said he would. But after the season, they said, well, we got to prorate your pay. And he said that was so disingenuous to him. He said, I felt embarrassed, and why would you do that to people? And the answer seems to always be blamed on someone else. Those supplements are already established. Why would an AD be told to not pay the coaches? And it just falls in line with pay. We have great, everybody, we just talked about some great athletes and our programs, but why would you do that to your coaches? Why would you do that to your teachers? I've seen since Mr. Mills in 1982 when I first started teaching, I've seen this conversation over and over again, but I've also seen the proud, hey, we're an A, we're an A district. And we're an A district because of all the people sitting here and all the people working their third job. That's why we're an A district. We're an A district because people like Mr. Woods and myself and Gilda, we didn't quit after 4 years, which many are doing. You got to take care of everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, administrators, and community members. My name is Julia Moore, and this is my 9th year teaching, but my first year teaching in Florida. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'd like to address 2 urgent issues that are affecting teachers, students, and families across our district. First, teacher compensation. Teachers regularly work long hours planning, assessing, differentiating instruction, communicating with families, and providing social emotional support, often beyond our contracted time. Competitive pay helps retain experienced educators, reduces turnover, and supports continuity of instruction for students. I personally took a huge pay cut when I moved here, which has made it difficult to make ends meet. I respectfully ask the board to consider a meaningful raise for classroom teachers and support staff so we can keep and attract the talent our students deserve. Second, instability caused by the district's 11-day count and predictive enrollment model. I moved to Palm Beach County from New York over the summer and was directly affected by these policies. After relocating to Palm Beach, I received little support from administration. I paid to move my belongings from New York to Boca. I spent my summer setting up a classroom, and then I had to take it down a month into the school year and move everything again to Boynton Beach. I made multiple trips in my small sedan using my own time, energy, and money. I received no pay, no compensation, and no help for these moves. As a result, I feel unprepared for the school year, and I have been struggling to stay afloat amid these unforeseen changes. Additional changes include a month after the 11-day count and moving schools, my new school was told to reassign our 3rd graders, which resulted in gaining and losing students, so I have had 5 different classes within 3 months, with some students also having 5 different teachers so far this school year, and some are about to have a 6th next month. That level of instability undermines consistent instruction, leads to lost learning time, and places undue stress on teachers, administrators, students, and families. It is especially harmful to students who rely on routine and strong teacher-student relationships. I urge the board to reconsider reliance on the 11-day count and the predictive enrollment model, use summer placements such as PM3 and spring assessment data as a stable basis for staffing and class assignments, provide timely communication, logistical support, and fair compensation when moves or major changes are required. I found out 2 days before I needed to move. Support heterogeneous student groupings so all Palm Beach County classrooms can include students with varied strengths and needs. Mixed groups let students learn from one another. Stronger readers can model strategies for peers. While diverse.
Thank you.
My name is Shari Perlowitz. I am a teacher, a kindergarten teacher for 20 years. And I just spent 7.5 hours singing, hugging, smiling, wiping noses and tears, tying shoes, and exhausting doing 3 reading groups a day and teaching addition that is far above any kindergartner's head. And yet I am nervous in front of you. Why? Because my dear kinders don't judge me. And yet I feel judged at 1% by the board in front of me. First, I have heard such impressive and incredible programs today, most of which I did not realize in this A+ county because I don't have time to listen or read most of what is sent out by the district. One question before my second point. Do you really think that educators worth 1% can do that? Without us, all of your kids could not do this. Are your kids worth 1%? I made a big sacrifice to come here. I gave up 2 tutoring jobs to come, one from 3:30 to 4:30 and one from 5 to 6. I normally don't get home every day until 7, so I'm working a 12-hour day. So because I came out today to support my union, my students, my colleagues, and all my teachers, I will be doing triple tutoring sessions tomorrow. I tutor Monday to Friday, 2 days are a double. I come home too tired to cook, exercise, enjoy time with my family. And yet I get on the computer, usually falling asleep on it and drooling all over it, to make sure all my plans are standard-based, match my PLC plans, and have everything ready bright and early the next day. A colleague and I tried to encourage more teachers to come. They wanted to, but they were all either too exhausted or double tutoring also. Please put yourselves in our shoes. For 1%, we can't even be able to afford any shoes. Do you think you are worth 1%? During COVID, you all needed us. You could not do without us. And now that we are all back, maybe you can run your schools with 1% of us, because that is where we're headed. Yesterday, I walked into Fresh Market. Someone called my name. It was a parent of 3 French boys I taught in ESOL, my first year of teaching in 2005. She hugged me so tightly and said, "I will never forget you. My boys will never forget you." Funny thing is, I see all these people around the community. "Mrs. Perlowitz, Mrs. Perlowitz, Mrs. Perlowitz, you're my favorite teacher. I still remember you." And these kids have graduated college. So she said, "You were my boys' safe place their first days away from France." She pulled out a picture of me and her youngest son on Halloween. That is worth way more than 1%. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen Longhofer and Cheyenne Selesky. Karen Longhofer and Cheyenne Selesky.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shane Selesky, and I teach AP Stats, IB Math, and ACE Thinking Skills at Royal Palm Beach High School. As you've heard from everybody else, a 1.5% raise is not going to cut it. Raises are compounding, and if we stick to this 1.5% raise, this 1 year, will ultimately cost me tens of thousands of dollars throughout my career. My wife also teaches in the school district as well, so I guess you can double that number. If we can't find money for a better raise, we have to cut spending. With 6,000 less students, we don't need as many workers. The last time we had a budget crisis was during the Great Recession. We did our best to keep all of our employees during such a challenging time. Back then, it made sense to do that. First, our enrollment didn't go down. We needed all our staff to meet the needs of our students. Second, due to the nature of recessionary economic conditions, inflation was low. Keeping salaries the same was not nearly as damaging to staff, especially when unemployment was near 10% at times. Having a job was better than no job. Fast forward to today, inflation's around 3%, unemployment's roughly 4.3%, which is considered close to maximum employment. Our demand for staff has been reduced since we lost 6,000 students. Unless the political climate significantly changes in Tallahassee, those students are not coming back. As you can see, both of these situations are very different. It does not make sense to hold on to unnecessary staff. Unemployment is low, which means they are likely to be able to find a job where they can be more useful, where there's a higher need. We can't make the rest of our team suffer greatly because we refuse to let go of some staff. School board, please urge the district to give teacher raises a bigger priority. Each year, we already lose teachers to other professions due to pay, and we cannot let this trend accelerate. It ultimately hurts our students to have access to quality teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Elle Knight and Jessica Mahari. Please come up. Can we come right up?
Good evening. My name is Jessica Mahary, and I'm a proud product of the Palm Beach County school system. I graduated from Suncoast and went off to the University of Florida, go Gators, to earn degrees towards what I hoped would be future success. Unfortunately, my younger brother was also a product of the Palm Beach County school system, and he did not have the same outcome. My younger brother has a severe disability and had far greater support needs in the school setting. He fell through the cracks of the support systems that were supposed to be in place. And I realized at a very early age that our systems that protect our neediest students are only as strong as the adults that are entrusted to uphold them. Great staff for him led to growth, but burnout and overexhausted, absent-minded staff led to severe regression. I grew up determined to come back and help fix the system, to keep others' families from struggling, and to get our students a better outcome. So fast forward to 2018, I earned my master's degree, came back to Palm Beach County, and am so excited to be able to work here as an ESE teacher. I knew I wasn't going into this profession for the income, but for the outcomes, right? My goal in life was never to be rich, but to help struggling students and their families. But then, the year went on, and it quickly became evident that income was a bigger factor than I'd realized. It started with picking up a hospital homebound student or two for some extra money and selling plasma on the side. It was a temporary struggle. I can do hard things, I thought, especially if it's only for a short period of time. But now, on year 8, I've come to the conclusion that the struggle wasn't temporary. In order to have a quality of life that is worth living, I've continued to need extra revenue sources because my base salary is not sufficient. The side hustles look different now, but the fact has remained that my salary is not keeping up with the rate of inflation and the increase in the cost of living in this county. Today, I'm an ESE coordinator. Let me tell you, I love my job. I take pride in what I do, but my thinking has shifted tremendously. Previously, I disregarded the income so that I could see the outcomes. But today I stand here and realize that without a sufficient income, the outcomes that we want are unattainable. In my line of work, I see daily the struggle of teachers who are dragging themselves in completely burnt out from all of their extra jobs. How can we expect people running on fumes to remember every IEP meeting, check off every accommodation, and bring their best patients with our neediest of students when they themselves are in need? How can we build lasting systems for our students with disabilities given how high the turnover rate is because teachers are leaving the profession left and right for better pay? The reality is we can't. I desperately want to do my job well and I want to help our students. But I also have to think back to my brother's education and the reality that our systems are only as strong as the adults responsible for maintaining them. And as one of those adults, I'm here to say that I'm exhausted. I understand there's not a vote on the table today regarding our salary, but in the coming months, if our salary falls into your hands for a vote, I am begging you to vote no on any proposal that includes less than a 3% salary increase. Anything less is an insult to our profession.
Thank you.
Good evening. Madam Chair, I believe you called my name, but I did not hear it.
It's okay, Karen, go ahead.
Thank you. I am Karen Longhofer. I am a Wellington resident. I have been a classroom teacher for 39 years, 38 in the school district of Palm Beach County Public Schools. Ms. Andrews, you also recruited me at the Florida Teach-In and hired me, and I appreciate that. So my husband and I moved to Florida. We've had 4 children go K-12 through the Palm Beach County school system, and they have an incredible education. Thank you, every teacher that taught them. I'm here to speak to you tonight about the teacher contract negotiations. While raising our 4 kids, my husband and I both taught. We were able to take them to dinner, take vacation occasionally. Today, our oldest son and daughter-in-law both teach. They have 2 children. They cannot afford to take them out to dinner. They don't take vacation, and they may not be able to stay in the teaching profession. Every year, we teachers, we give extra time. We dig into our own pockets for money that we might need for bills. We might just want to save it for a rainy day. But we do it to buy items for our classrooms and our students. Why? To benefit our students' education. But why do we dig into our own pockets? Because we believe our students in Palm Beach County are the top priority. They deserve the best. You, the school board, and Mr. Superintendent, you tell everybody we have the best teachers. And yes, we do have the best teachers. We're here. We are the best. And that we are a priority. If you truly believe that we are the best, that we are the top priority, you need to take some money out of your pocket, the district's pocket. Prove to us that the teachers, we are the best, we are your top priority because our students are our top priority. I'm sorry, it's a rainy day. And thank you.
Thank you. Veronica Cavella and Perla Abate. Veronica Cavella and Perla Abate.
Good evening, Superintendent Burke, Deputy Superintendent Wyatt, and esteemed board members. My name is Veronica Cavella, and I am a teacher at Santa Lucia's High School. I spent my entire 23-year career teaching in this A-rated school district. I am immensely proud and grateful to have been able to live and work in Palm Beach County. However, it has been lately extremely challenging being able to continue to afford to live here. And yes, I do have 2 other jobs. Over the years, the school board has always been supportive of students and educators. So I am here today to urgently and respectfully request that the school board consider an adequate and decent raise for teachers like me to encourage retention and recruitment of more talented teachers. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Perla Alzate. I am one of the many teachers who decided to leave the profession. As of October 31st, I resigned from my position at Lake Worth High School. And I am going to read something that I sent to the board as an email. And this is something that may not be voted on today, but I do think that it's worth mentioning because teacher morale is down on the floor right now. We are walking out by the thousands all over Florida, especially, and I'm sure across the nation. This is what I wrote up. I'm an 18-year veteran teacher. I'm certified in the critical shortage areas of mathematics 6 through 12, ESOL, English for speakers of other languages, and reading, and also Spanish. I have worked, I worked at Lake Worth Community High School since 2021, when in the middle of the pandemic, they were desperate for teachers. I heard the call that they needed Spanish speakers for the immigrant students, and it was time to go back after I had had my daughter in 2018. And I decided to begin working there. I believe deeply in the mission of public education and in the well-being of our students and teachers. However, Palm Beach County district teachers are experiencing how the very institution that we dedicate our lives to has become increasingly hostile to work for. The policies and the practices currently in place have created an environment where we're often silenced, undervalued, and overburdened, rather than empowered to fulfill our calling to educate, inspire, and guide our students toward a better future. The growing erosion of our professional freedoms is also increasingly troubling. Teachers deserve the right to express themselves, advocate for their students and profession without fear of retaliation, and work in an inviting environment that fosters respect, collaboration, and trust. When teachers are treated as liabilities instead of professionals, morale declines, and so does the quality of education. When a teacher may be subject of an investigation due to the newly adopted School Board Policy 2.3817, mandating that a report be made to the Florida Department of Education for propping a hallway door open, moreover, that the Florida Department of Education may decide to investigate the matter further, when the teacher was only making a photocopy. It becomes clear that punishment is the goal.
Thank you. Lori Landis and Taka Fields. Lori Landis and Taka Fields.
Good evening. I'm Lori Landis, Superintendent Burke and board members. Good evening, everyone. Please don't stress. I'm not here to talk about non-counseling duties or eliminating our job description, I confess. From guidance counselors to school counselors, they say, but tonight I'm here for the heart, to speak for the whole in every way. Thanks for your support, for listening with care. You've shown that our voices matter everywhere. We counsel students young and old, but our struggles must also be told. We guide, we listen, and we wipe every tear. We stay late at night to calm every fear. We lift spirits high and hearts that are low, all to help our children flourish and grow. Behind the scenes, real lives unfold. 2 colleagues couldn't pay the rent, truth be told. One moved back home with her parents again, just trying to survive amid stress and strain. I've tightened my budget and found a side gig two, a burden shared by colleagues, more than a few. I canceled 2 clients to be here tonight, $100 or so down the pike. We've raised our voices, together we stand, calling for raises, not a token in hand. Bonuses help now, but fade with the years. Salaries matter more as retirement nears. Our schools are A-rated because we care. Teachers and counselors give more than fair. Beyond required hours, away from home, we show up for students wherever they roam. Other counties have moved ahead, Dade, Orange, Alachua. They've heard what we said. It's time we match them or risk the cost. Losing great educators, we cannot exhaust. Our educators are skilled and highly trained. If we want lifelong learners, we must maintain. Higher education is the path to grow, but costs rise fast and the pay moves slow. Our master's supplement hasn't moved in years. It's a time to correct it and ease those fears. To recruit the best, we must compete with neighboring districts offering pay that's sweet. Students deserve adults' common sound, not worried if rent or food can be found. We give our hearts, our skills, our time. Let's make our pay reflect that climb. And here's my plea, both strong and true. Invest in the people who invest in you. Support us, value us, help us stay, and our students will shine in every way. For when teachers thrive, children soar. Our district grows stronger than ever before. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Taka Fields. Greetings, Chair Brill, Vice Chair Lane, board members, superintendent, student representative, oh, she's gone. Okay. Distinguished guests, and to the MVPs of education, my fellow educators. I'm a 13-year U.S. Air Force veteran, a 10-year civil servant, someone with 20 years in ministry, and well on my way to becoming a veteran teacher. I'm also a proud graduate of the inaugural class of the Teacher Academy of 1996. I know I don't look it, 1996. I'm a member of CTA and a member of the NAACP. And I stand here today as a teacher at the A-rated Santa Lucis Community High School. My board representatives are Vice Chair Lane because of where I live and board member Whitfield because of where I teach. Every day, my colleagues and I pour our lives into children who often arrive carrying more than they should. And yet, many of those same teachers walk out of the classroom and into a second or third or fourth shift, delivering food, tutoring late into the night, or picking up side jobs, not for extra income, but because their salaries no longer cover the basics of living. This isn't a lack of dedication. This is dedication being exploited. And it's costing us in talent, in stability, and in the future that we say we want for our students. Let me be clear. This is not simply a moral issue. This is a structural issue. No community can excel when the faces, when it's eating the faces off of its infrastructure. Passion is a gift, but it's not a substitute for a paycheck. And when policymakers use teachers' passion to justify inadequate compensation, they're not honoring teachers, they're using them. This is value exploitation. I've watched teachers lift students from despair to possibility, and I've watched those same teachers quietly calculate whether they can afford gas, groceries, or childcare. We are praised like heroes in speeches, but compensated like volunteers. This contradiction undermines the excellency this county claims to pursue. I'm going to leave you with this. The idea that teachers shouldn't expect fair compensation because they love what they do is not a principle, it's a logical fallacy. Stop it.
Thank you. Gordon Longhofer. Gordon Longhofer. Gordon, come on up if you want to speak.
I don't think I need to introduce myself again, so I'm not going to.
Well, please state your name for the record.
For the
I'm
record,
sorry.
Gordon Longhofer, CTA president. I am so incredibly proud and grateful for these people who are here tonight to tell their stories. You may never hear a speech this short again. I cannot improve on that. Give ear to the teachers. Have a good evening.
Thank you. So, board members, that's the end of our speakers and the end of our meeting. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Branch and second by Ms. Whitfield. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Have a good night, everybody. Drive safe.